olive.
You heard me. I'll get him to smite you by the power of cord.
I'm heard.
I'll do it.
Wait, what?
My man Karn will get you.
So, everybody good to go? Everybody ready to do this?
Yes.
Never.
Fantastic. All right.
Damn it.
So last time we played, the group was doing a heist. Things went mostly well until they didn't. An alarm was tripped. And demon guards or devil guards showed up. To which Malachi responded, "I would rather you not." Used a really, really good sleet storm spell that made everything impossible to see, slowed him down, and just trolled that fight and the wizard that came out afterwards. The two guards were slain. The group made out with the bag of magical items, and the wizard, much to Crane's disappointment, got out alive.
Stupid bitch.
So, as the party was seemingly in the clear, getting ready to leave town, Crane got shot with a crossbow bolt that seemed to dissipate and like kind of seep its way under his skin, and a strange mark showed up. Some silhouette figure then disappearing off in the distance, as I think Yarol might have caught. I forget who saw it. Somebody caught a glimpse. Yeah, of a strange silhouette with some sort of tusks or something. The group made it down the road, heading back towards Everland, out of Silvery Moon, dispelling the tracking magic. And so, yeah, the devil thingy that was hunting them took a little bit longer to find you guys, which means you guys got a long rest in between. He did find you, attacked you at nighttime, using invisibility and a number of different kinds of crossbow bolts.
The one-time fairy fire would have been useful.
Yeah, using a combination of blinding attacks, snaring, paralysis, bolts that exploded, all sorts of fun stuff. Eventually, after doing a number on the party, he was brought down, and the devil exploded, much to Ethan's disappointment. And
It's a standard, I know.
yeah, so, but like half of its head remaining, and strangely white mist began to flow off of it, and water began to pour from its eye socket, and a strange dark voice rang out with a message for Moyer. And basically just saying, you keep up your end of the deal, I'll keep up mine. And then the party continues on to go back to Everland. A few of them scratching their heads as to what just happened. Moyer assuring the group that he doesn't worship the entity. It was just a necessary deal. But you guys returned to...
It was life or death, dude.
Returned to the town of Everland, where the tower of the Harpers, their headquarters of sorts, or one of them, is stationed, and they have access to a group of teleportation circles. One going to a northern city called Mirabar that Malachi was interested in going to. So, you guys are walking back into town. What would you like to do? Say at this point, you only had to travel about half a day, so the sun's, still pretty high in the sky. Like, you're probably hitting there noon, maybe 1 o'clock. You didn't have to travel too far because you guys pushed on the night, like the night before, or the 2 nights before.
Well, I'm still poor, so I'm not going to be up to much. Same.
That magical sword helped you out though,
I did.
because you weren't going to be able to do much to that devil otherwise.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, fucked up, dude.
So,
Yeah.
Easy clap.
you guys have the town of Everland, which is this kind of this city with like five gates. It's kind of a river passing through it, and you know where the tower is, called Moongleam Tower. You have an inn and its keeper, who's also a harper, Jarrell, who you've had a little bit of interaction with. You guys know about a pawn shop. There's a bazaar with some merchants there. Up to you. Which it hasn't been too long since Moyer checked out the bazaar, so there might not be a whole lot of magical interest there. Hasn't been very long.
Yeah. Back to the poor thing. I think I'm going to just go find an inn, I guess. Secure lodgings.
I mean, it's still like midday, so it's quite some time until nightfall. So, if you guys want to stay in the town, you can.
I don't know, I'm ready to just move on to Mirror Bar.
Malachi had expressed
is instant.
that maybe getting far away would be a good idea, harder to track you guys.
I still don't really. The only person who really knows what our group makeup is dead. Was the demon we killed. So if we just like disappear.
Yeah, I mean, I
Makes
guess
sense.
we'll go to Mirror Bar.
Far enough to do that.
It's pretty fucking far away, so
Yeah, it is.
Mirabar is many miles to the northwest.
Did we get a rest, by the way? Or did we...
After...
I guess we should stay the night before we do anything like
You had your fight, and then you finished up a long rest. Yes, you did finish up a long rest. I'm gonna run back through it. So yeah, you guys are all sorts of healed up. Your spells are back. Everything's fine and dandy. Yeah, Mirabar. Okay, so yeah, so I'm looking at Everland.
Northwest.
Yeah, it's Mirabar is way northwest of Everland,
Yeah,
kind of along the edge of a long mountain range called the Spine of the World. Yeah, and it's kind of like situated right there on the Mirar River, which you assume has something to do with its name. So.
well, if Malachi wants to go to Mirror Bar,
it would be... I would really appreciate it if you helped me with my problems there.
I'm totally willing to help with that.
do I get to kill giants?
I'm not sure giants necessarily. There'll probably be some of my kind involved. But,
Giant enough. That's fine.
Yikes.
Roll. I'm gonna say, Crane. Go ahead and roll a history check.
Oh wow.
no, I don't have my dice.
18.
Okay.
Oh, important.
Yeah. So you do know that while your initial, your purpose for going wouldn't necessarily be related to giants, You have heard plenty of stories of giant activity up north. That seems to be one of the hot spots for it. So, it may be entirely possible that you run across some.
Murder mayhem await.
So, the north was one of the first places to start having reports of giant attacks. There's like frost giants up there, and those were some of the first reports. And then as time went on, more and more began to pop up all over the Sword Coast. But the north was one of the first places. So, alright, so the party's heading off to Mirabar. And I guess you'll be heading...
Yeah.
So unless there's anything else you guys would like to do in the city, you make your way over to the Moongleam Tower, which is over on the east side of town. You pass through a few of the nice parks that sit along the riverbank. It's decently chilly here. You're starting to feel it. Not like it's not too bad just yet, but and as you make your way up to this tower, and you kind of you knock on the front door, and a little like peephole, little slide comes back. See a pair of eyes with like wrinkles kind of around them, and then as he sees all of you, this is the wizard that you had encountered earlier, and he's just like, you've come back. Have you? Oh, just a second. Closes. You hear some unlocking mechanism, and door opens up to you, and you are given access. He kind of waves you all, and he's like, come in. And as you all file back into the familiar tower now, he closes the door, kind of behind you. Says, well, I hope your business went well. I assume you're here to use the teleportation circles, yes?
If you don't mind.
All right, sure. Just right this way, and he leads you down the stone steps to kind of like this basement area where all of the teleportation circles are set up. And as he kind of looks around at all of them, he's like, all right, so which one were you needing again?
Mirror bar, please.
Oh, right, Mirabar. All right, and then he walks over. He's to the one of the circles. He's like, well, it is cold in Mirabar, so fair warning. I hope you packed warmly, or if you haven't, I'm sure you can get some clothes there.
Wait, how cold?
Oh, I mean, it's it's pretty cold. It's usually snowing there, or sometimes things ice over. I mean, it's pretty far north.
Oh God. Okay.
I'm
wearing leather.
just like, yes, thank God.
Yeah. Malachi has been miserable down in all this southern heat.
I don't think I've ever been.
He's like,
that
all right,
far north.
well, if you don't mind, step on to the circle here. Let's see. On the other side, you'll come out. There'll be a little stable house. This circle in Mirabar is kind of up in the attic. Go there. You'll find a dwarf who tends the circle. He's a harper. His name is Zaz. He'll help you out and point you in the right direction for whatever it is you need. I guess that's about all. So, onto the circle. And the five of you kind of file on. Although
Wait, what about
the skeletons? The skeletons following suit. All piling up, and so he starts to cast a spell, starts to mutter some incantations. The spell begins to light up underneath you. Not the first time that you guys have teleported, but this might still take some getting used to for some of you. And so as these lights start to go around this circle, and then the whole world gets a little bit blurry for a second, and then the same strange, just like where you feel like you're just yanked out of one place and shoved right back into another with just like this tremendous force. And you look around. You're surrounded by wood. Mostly like wood planks on the floor. The circle you stand on has bits of hay that are kind of scattered across it, and a very large pile with kind of like a pitchfork sitting next to it stands just to the side of this teleportation circle. Seems to be a simple room. You instantly can smell horses, other creatures, manure, as that all kind of hits you. Also, it is cold. Like the sun changed in temperature between where you were inside of the tower and here is drastic. Like it almost kind of like takes the air out of your lungs. You kind of like that cold air just like goes in and almost like stabs like daggers for a second as you're just trying to adjust to this rapid change, almost like you just got dunked in an ice bath or something like that. Malachi's fine.
Ethan's fine too.
Yeah, Ethan. Wet lungs.
What's the difference?
Yeah.
What's the cold?
Yeah. So Ethan, you
Wait,
just look.
Ethan, you remember what cold is like, right? Have you ever have you ever been cold before? Do you remember?
No, I don't remember. What's it like?
It hurts. Oh God, I need.
Crane over there shivering his butt off.
Quick! Is her Malachi healer?
I mean,
In-
Yarrow's probably super cold too.
Yeah, Yarrow probably
You're
ain't
bigger
used.
than me, you son of a bitch.
But he's a skinny
I've
boy.
still never been this far north.
How does
I'm not
how does
prepared
Moyer
for
how does Moyer handle the cold?
I was about to ask you that because I'm from the northern coast.
I was about to say you're no stranger to it, but I mean, hey, that's up to you. That's up to you as to what Moyer thinks of the cold.
Pretty cool. I assume I'm wearing pretty light garb, so.
So
It's
maybe
cold up in here.
up in. So, but yes, in the corner of this room, you can see a set of steps that lead down to the floor below.
Great.
Who would win? 3 adventurers who have taken down giants? Some fucking lack of heat.
So.
Okay.
I head outside. I'm ready to feel feel the wind.
Oh,
Sure.
God.
Malachi confidently starts stepping down the wooden stairs. They creak a little bit underneath your boots. And as you make your way downstairs, you start to see rows of stables. It's a little bit warmer in here just from the animals nearby that kind of generate a little bit of heat. But you do see a short, blonde-haired dwarf who is kind of shoveling some hay and going about his business, feeding a line of horses that have been stabled there. He wears like thick fur. And he looks up. He looks up and sees all of you, and he's got this wide, long beard that's got like bits of hay stuck in it and everything. And as he looks up to all of you, he's like, "Oh, Visitors. You I take it you come from Everland.
It's a lot warmer there.
It is, isn't it? You might want to get that taken care of.
Any idea where we could get my companions some clothes? They're not used to the weather.
Right, of course. Well, my name is Zasper Bronzefire. Feel free to call me Zaz. And who you all might be? I don't think I've seen you before.
No.
We're newer friends of the Harpers.
Right?
Can we see outside?
We
Yeah, you see like there's like a little small window near the door, and you can kind of look out. It's hard to see too much out into the street. You see a few buildings, and then you also see little white specks that are kind of like floating by the window.
We're running to the window.
we've been I guess helping out the Harpers in a way with some giant problems, but I think we're
Well, we've
really
had
here on
plenty
more
of those.
personal business.
All right, well, and then
Malachi!
he sees Ethan run over there. He's like, "So you all right?"
What is my things?
Yeah,
They're bugs.
Zaz
They're
kind
everywhere.
of like it walks over. He's
Have we
just
seen
like,
snow on the ground before? Like, have we seen, or no?
during your
think so.
travels yet? No,
Okay.
not quite.
okay.
You did see some freezing rain.
So,
That's the closest
Ethan,
you got. It's like, have
you
you
have
never
the
seen
top of
snow
the-
before?
Uh-huh.
Oh, it must be from pretty far south. It's like,
Yeah. So Ethan, you know how
Are
the
those
tops
bugs?
of mountains and stuff are white?
you
You've
did
seen mountains
you did
before.
see that you
We
guys
were
did pass
literally
by
the
some
last
white
time we
top
saw
mountains, yes.
This is true.
Like outside of
Were those bugs
Everland.
too?
Well, this is why they're that way.
Oh, he's
It's really cold water. you son
oh,
of a bitch.
he's real country, isn't he?
It was a big mess for
He's
bugs.
a little bit oblivious to things he hasn't seen before. We'll just
Well, I suppose this would be a good experience for him. I'm sure the cold is cutting right through you. I'll tell you what. And he kind of points out. He's like,
Wait, cold cuts you?
what?
Malachi, you really gotta heal Crane!
Oh, he's all right. He's one of those. That's fine. That's fine. Right. So if you go down the street a little ways, and there should be a shop. You can find some furs, some things to line your clothing, overcoats, things like that. Just down the street, about a block or so.
I appreciate your help. We're also
Right.
here to. Well, we're going a little further north.
Further north. All right.
Yeah. Have you had any news from the glacier lately?
You mean up near Regan?
That
Well,
would be the one.
I mean, yeah, Reghead's a little bit on the opposite side. It's on the other side of the mountain range. Not a whole lot of word comes from over there. I know there's some towns a little bit west of there, like Bryn Shander and places like that. I mean, you all say you know about the giant problems. I mean, there's frost giants have been very active in the area, so I'd be very careful. So
Giants?
yeah, big ones. Don't call them giants for no reason.
The cold
right,
means
so-
nothing.
So you said you're heading north. Are you going trying to cut up through the mountain range, or are you gonna head out west and try to work your way around them? I personally might suggest that.
Yeah, I know how dangerous the spine can be. I mean, there's not really a mountain pass, is there? We have to go around.
I mean, there's maybe deer trails and others strange, not official, no, not by any means. Your best bet would probably be to head west of here, all the way to the coast. You'll find Luskin, and then from there you can take the northern Mean Road heading up towards more towards Hundelstone. Like I said, Bryn Shander. You start to get up into Icewind Dale over there. I don't know where
Right,
exactly you're
that's-
wanting
that's
to go.
like That's a several days trip, isn't it?
Well, ordinarily, yes, but we do have some docks here in town. You might be able to catch a ride on one of the boats. The Mirar River goes straight from, well, it goes up into the spine of the world, but it also cuts west of here right out into the ocean. It'll get you there in probably a little over 2 days. If you take a boat.
Seems like a quick way up and around. I've only ever made the trip the other direction, as
Is
you
the
can tell.
boat cold?
I mean, I don't know what you would expect. As fires on a boat are a little bit tricky. Not impossible, but you're gonna have to be up on the deck, and have some sort of brazier or something that they'll have. But all right, you need to get you some thick furs. I'm telling you, there's right down the street. I would say Moyer, Luskin. You know of Luskin. It's a port town. Matter of fact, I'm gonna say go ahead and roll a history check for me, and roll it with advantage, given your background,
Okay.
to see what you know about Luskin. Because Moyer's definitely heard of it before.
It's 19.
19. Great. All right. So here's what you know about Luskin. Like I said, it's a port town. You've been through there a couple times. Your group as much as they could, tended to avoid it. But sometimes it's just kind of necessary. It's called the City of Sails. There's a lot of traffic that comes through there due to the Mirar River going up into the mainland. And while a lot of people hear City of Sails and think, kind of this just like glorious city with like all sorts of adventurous, seafaring folk, and it's a dirty dive of a city. It's run by a group called the Five High Captains, who are the authority. Like they're like, so there is law and there is order, and it's kept by basically thinly veiled pirates. Lots of raiding types there, that have kind of started to build their own little society. You've also heard that there's some group called the Arcane Brotherhood that hangs out there. That seem to be the two big factions within that city.
Question: where did we decide the temple was?
Right, your temple. Right, we totally meant to do that. So it could, like I said,
You said Raven Rock wouldn't work.
I mean, it can be nearby there. That's fine. But I'm just saying, Raven Rock is a burial mound, for a certain tribe called the Uthgard. Yours could, I mean, the temple could be near there, as long as they didn't disturb the burial mound. The Uthgard wouldn't have too much problem with them. There might be a little tense, relationship there, but given the followers of Cord, they can fend for themselves. So.
Well, I'm just saying, I would know the way through the mountains from there.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah. So in the surrounding, you do know that is a tough journey. You do know that is you know the way, but it nearly killed you on a couple occasions.
Yeah, that's fair.
So. Right. So Zaz, after kind of giving you this little bit of information, Moyer, that's what you know of Luskin. So you kind of figure it might not be a place you want to hang out for too long, but if you're just in and out, you shouldn't have too many issues. Like I said, there's these 5 high captains kind of keep the order. So
Okay. Yeah. I would personally prefer to walk, if you don't mind.
Why?
Just the sea I haven't been comfortable with in a while. I don't really mind if we stay kind of close to the shore, but
He can't. I'm uncomfortable now.
We're literally like
Zaz-
on a river. It's
yeah.
not.
Zaz's like, well, I mean, Luskin's right there before it turns into the ocean. I mean, you can hop off right there at Luskin, and you don't have to touch the depths. I mean,
yeah, it should be fine.
your preference, but. Alright, so,
That's what I prefer.
is there anything else you need
I
from
mean,
me?
I'm just offering we can go over the mountain, but it wouldn't be an easy journey. So I appreciate your help.
Alright, well, good luck in your travels. Be as safe as you can. Watch out for frost giants, and keep your wits about you in Luskin. If you don't have too much business there, it might be better to keep it moving.
Yeah, appreciate the advice on that one. We probably will.
Right.
Okay. Let's get you guys some warmer clothes, should we?
Yes.
I'm taking
would
like
be-
a little bit of extra like appreciation for this because I've been like fucking miserable for the last
Yeah.
3 weeks.
So,
A little extra pleasure.
so yeah, you open up the door, and the wind comes rushing in, and you kind of see Zaz pull his cloak around him. He's like, "All right, don't keep the door open for long." And you all make your
I
way.
am first out the door. I am my ass towards that first.
Yeah, and you get outside, and that wind just hits you like a hail of knives. I mean, you're just like, oh boy. It is snowing. Some of the wind picking it up and kind of swirling it through the streets. You look up ahead; it's very cloudy overhead. No, you can't see sky on the other side. Like no break in the clouds in sight. Just a long, thick sheet of clouds and lots of snow coming down. And as you look around, you can see the town of Mirabar, the city of Mirabar. So Mirabar, that some might know, is one of the richest cities in the north. There's lots of mining activity. You all were told about there being a dwarven city underneath the surface. And as you kind of look around, you see lots of many stone buildings. This seems to be the material of choice. And basically it sits, and as you kind of work your way around, you get a feel for the place. Mirabar sits on like this knoll, kind of this big hill. It's built much like a fortress. It's got thick walls that are as wide at the base as some like city blocks. They're sloped outer walls. You imagine it would be a nightmare to try to attack this place. And many of the buildings. Many of the buildings you see are, like I said, made of stone. They have like some of them have fine metal sheets worked into them, large sheets of metal, that all are like unnaturally shiny. Like they have like this shining brilliance to it. You see a few dwarves walking around, a lot of humans, and some other races. You do see some dwarves, not as many as you would necessarily expect, knowing that there's a dwarven city right nearby, but it seems like most of them might be keeping underground. But you do see some walking around. Many of the dwarves that are walking around they're very richly dressed. They have thick, fine, fur-lined coats or cloaks. Some of them have golden rings on their fingers, or maybe like a platinum amulet that adorns their neck. Just very fine clothing. Any guards that you see, all of the guards are dwarves. They're all wearing like split mail. They have battle axes strapped to them, and again, the battle axes and the armor that they wear, all of it with that same shining brilliance to the metal, like beyond anything you've really seen before. So even like just like the functional, even just like functional armor and weapons of the guards have like almost like the ceremonial property to them. They just shine so brightly. And that's the town as you see it right now. So you guys are making your way over to the place you were directed to buy some cloaks.
Yes.
Sure, yeah. And as you all walk in, you see a human, female, long blonde hair, short, little round. And as she looks up at all of you, it's just like, "Oh, you are so out of towners. How did you even make it here dressed like that? My goodness. All right. Close the door behind you. Come in. Here, sit yourself down by the fire." And there's a little fire off to the side. Just like, "Oh, my word. Well, all right. You all need some help. I can see that. Right, my name's Myrna. I'll be happy to help you. I take it you're looking for some warmer clothes than what you're wearing here."
Absolutely.
Right. Oh, you're a tall one. All right, I think I might be able to find something that fits you. And so she starts working with all of you and starts finding you warmer clothes that actually fit as best she can. For some,
So like I don't go for warmer clothes. I'm just like,
yeah. She comes up to you. It's just like, "Right, so you're gonna need something."
I'm like that's okay. I think I'll be fine. This is, as you can tell, closer to home for me.
She kind of looks at you. She's like, "Huh, Goliath. Don't see many of you around here. I hear most of you are even further north."
Well, that's where we're headed. So.
All right. Well, I guess let me help you get there. And so she starts working with all of you. She goes over to Ethan and his 3 friends. Is it 3 friends at this point?
I mean,
Do you have 3 animated?
one of them died, but I assumed that I rezzed him, but
Oh, one died to
we didn't
the
we didn't
Orthon.
really talk about that. Yeah.
I feel like Ethan would. You had time.
I
So
figured.
it probably would have
So
been.
yes, 3.
So yeah. So just mark off that spell slot for today because you probably would have done it.
Yeah, I already did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
just-
you're fine.
I just assumed.
Yeah. So you got all 3. That's okay. If more was happening, maybe we'd be more intent on it, but not a whole lot happened. You're fine. So she goes up to you and to your group. And it's just like, well, right, I can help you out. You all have some cloaks on. It's just kind of like hard to see your face, but what can I get? Here, I've got this some furs here that like this nice. And she brings out kind of like this parka kind of thing.
Those are nice.
It's like, right, we can maybe work with this.
What?
It's cold. I don't know if you noticed.
I look over at Malachi. I was like,
He's used to the cold as well, so I don't think he's gonna need as much as the rest.
No, I'm not.
These 3.
They were not his friends either. All right.
Yeah.
Very well.
Carrie, don't say that about them.
We don't really get
He's a
affected by the
mage.
cold too bad.
He can make himself warm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exactly.
well, I mean, I have seen spellcasters do some interesting things. Well, I don't know much about that, so, well, must be nice. It's like, and then she goes to start putting it back. It's like, well, all of us normal folk just have to bundle up tight and hope for the best. But she gets you all. You all.
I know. Tell me about it.
She gets you all set up. Finds some clothing for Moyer. Which I don't know if Moyer knows if his camera is aimed like way up.
Sorry.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, yeah, don't worry about it. But yeah, so yeah, she finds you as like, oh, well, let's see. Well, there's lots of dwarves around here, and so I'm sure we could find a little something, maybe take it in a little bit, and probably find something that fits you just fine. And she gets you all set up. I'm gonna say for each of you, just for a decent set of cold weather clothes, let's say a gold, I think at most.
I've never given someone a gold bastard in my life.
Yeah.
Never been
Yeah.
so happy to part with one.
So yeah, but you get like any kind of cloaks or like kind of scarves or gloves or fur like or wool lined boots, all sorts of cold weather clothing that can help you not be as miserable. So Crane, once you get all you get all bundled up. So it's a little too warm almost, once you're right next to the fire, but you make sure everything fits and you're good to go. She's like, well, I thank you all for your patronage. Good luck out there. And kind of taking a last look at Malachi and Ethan and friends, and it's just like, if you're sure you don't need anything else, then
Quite sure, thanks.
all right. Have a good day. And so you have your clothing.
Alright, so I turn to the group, and I'm like, so I guess the boat trip is probably better than trying to go back over the mountains. I thought about going over the mountains, but now that I think about it, it wasn't an easy trip. And y'all don't seem like mountain climbing is one of your hobbies.
And as you look over at Crane, and he's just like just layered up for days.
I should be fine on the boat trip. Luskin is not a place we want to stay though, for any amount of time.
Wasn't really planning on it. I didn't spend much time there. I mostly just headed straight through it when I first came down to Neverwinter. But it's funny that we're able to be so close to where we started.
It's true.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Crane's nose is starting to turn a little bit red.
Indeed.
Yeah, and as you step back out into the streets, Crane. It's better. It's better. Your face stings a little bit, but it's better. So, all right. So you have this whole city. By this point, you're probably 3 o'clock, maybe, or 3 or 4.
We'll be right back for just a moment.
Sure. It does look that like night might hit a little bit earlier up this way. So you're not entirely sure when it'll hit, but you've got maybe another 3-4 hours until night starts to hit. So you guys have this large bustling city full of merchants and all sorts of different people going about their business. What would you like to do? Anything you like to look for?
Am I getting weird looks everywhere from all these people because I'm a Goliath or no?
Yeah, you do catch some weird glances. A couple of the guard the dwarves, like as they walk, like they see you walk by or whatever, they don't do anything overt, but you know, they have like hand axes kind of like in their belt, and their hands are always kind of like resting on them, just as you walk by, little small things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but nothing overt.
Okay. What is it, Ethan?
Have you been here before?
Not here, no. Close by though.
Yeah, say you might have passed through. Close by, probably.
Body shop here.
They have what?
Body shop here.
I don't think so. But where we're going, I'm sure there will be plenty of bodies for you to pick up. I mean, they talk here, frost giants. They have bones. That's a thing. I'm not sure we're gonna find a body shop really anywhere.
What?
They don't just like sell bones. I don't think. So.
What?
Yeah, I mean,
But they sell like everything else.
Yeah, but people's remains are kind of like important to them, I guess is the way to put it.
See, this is why the black market exists.
Why is it black?
Because it happens, most of the activity happens at night because it's not legal.
How do you see?
Well, you can see in the dark, can't you?
Wait. Shit, you're right.
No, the black market isn't like just around at night. That's not. No, it's a.
It's less.
We're trying to have a conversation here, Crane. All right.
It's not an actual like shop per se.
We should go there. I mean,
No, it's more like an interconnected like ring of illegal like shops and stuff.
Yeah.
okay.
I don't know much about it. To
Uh-huh.
be honest, it's more of a Crane thing.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, we should go there.
There's no like specific location. Some people just have.
Well, how do you find it?
You kind of have to know where it is to find it.
Well, you said
Yeah.
Crane knows.
Well, but he's not necessarily here.
That's a good question.
Tell me
but
this. The Urgar,
Uthgard.
Uthgard.
Mhm.
What kind of like caliber of people are the Uthgard?
So the Uthgard have a small mix. Like you're talking about like races.
Like what? Are they good people?
Well, that's all subjective. They are.
that's
They're
probably gonna be a no.
there's not they're not necessarily. So much like your own tribe, they are separated up into different kind of tribes within the overarching Uthgard. Some of them are there's orcs and half orcs. They are tribal. Some of them keep to hunting. Some of them do raid towns. And they're like not all. They're not just like bloodthirsty, savages or anything like that. But if they're running low on resources and town has what they need, well, that's life.
Alright.
So, so they're not necessarily good, not necessarily bad, and it all kind of depends on which tribe you go to. You don't know too much about the individual tribes, since that wasn't really your people. So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't. I'm not sure where we'd be able to get bones for you until we. Well, we have to make them ourselves. Is that really an insensitive thing to say?
We're really good at it.
We do seem to be quite accomplished.
Take them from people who no longer need them?
You don't need these
That
bones.
sounds
See-
worse. That sounds
See,
worse, actually.
The needing of the
Um,
skeleton is a little up to debate. It depends on who you ask.
I suppose that was kind of a poor way of wording it.
Here's the thing. So up where I'm from, or where I learned about Cord, there's a burial mound for another northern tribe. It would likely cause some serious problems if we took bones from there, but technically, I don't know. I'm not sure that we have a lot ahead of us. So if you're at full strength, that might be helpful. I don't know if it's morally where we need to be, but
Bull cup, everybody.
Mine just always points down. Mine might be a little.
I just I don't know. I'm willing to bend rules for results here because of the situation we're in. Because of the specific scenario that we've put ourselves into. I don't know.
So,
We just get more friends.
is there anything you guys would like to do? Want to get done here in the town of Mirabar? Anything you're looking for?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Well, actually, yes.
Okay.
I completely forgot. Did the lady we just see sell arrows?
No. She sold clothes.
I need some.
You could find arrows
Is there, like-
pretty easy.
Is there a weapon shop like near?
Yeah. Yeah, you can find a smithy.
Crane, do you have any contacts in town?
I have yet to look, but none known. Probably.
So, but yeah, you can find a smithy. And again, you see that these weapons are all like any of the weapons are like probably about 5 to 10 gold more expensive, depending on the size, than you would typically see. They're all finely made, and again, they all have this strange, strangely bright shine to them. Arrows, you could find arrows for, I think it's like a bundle of 20. It's like a gold. And then
Captain.
there's not a whole lot of metal on those, so I'm just gonna say like a gold and 5 silver. You probably get a bundle of 20 arrows, so however many you want.
Okay, I'll get 2.
I need bows.
Okay. Well, what up, Ethan?
I need bows.
You need bows. Yeah, you can find those too.
How many?
Let's see. Well, I mean, in this kind of town, you look around enough, you will definitely find whatever it is you're looking for.
I need 6 of them.
6.
You can take my crossbow.
No, I don't want your crossbow.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Let me take a quick look at how much
Might be really bad.
how much a bow. So you're looking for like short bows.
Sure. Why not?
All right, short bow. All right, those are 25 gold apiece.
The fuck they are? What?
Yeah, those are 25 gold apiece. So,
Oh my god.
and those, those are pretty much just, like I said, stay 25 gold. So,
Yeah, that feels bad, dude.
How much gold do you have?
Terry's about to be throwing daggers. That's what's gonna happen.
I mean,
Just call him Kevin.
they
baby.
could throw daggers. This is the thing you could do.
Not enough to buy 6 bows. Along with arrows.
So,
Understandable.
what would you like to buy?
I could buy 2 bows. I need to find more shiny rocks.
So,
I have some shiny rocks.
Ooh. Hello, sugar mama.
so how much are you buying and of what?
It depends on how much allowance I get.
Oh,
How much gold are you willing to donate?
oh god. I guess we'll go with 100.
100 gold.
Yeah,
That's a good amount.
It's like 4 bows.
this
Alright.
is true. Math adds up.
I would like to buy 4 bows with your 100 gold.
All right.
All right.
Yeah, you find four short bows, all
Sick.
finely carved and made,
Mm-hmm.
with little bits of the metal kind of gilding, little bits of scrolling on them. It kind of looks like metal gets worked into almost everything here, and again with that shiny brightness to it.
Okay.
And as you all are doing this shopping, kind of looking over, maybe taking note of some of the things being a bit more expensive, the dwarf who's selling everything looks up to you. He's just like, you're new to town, are you? Well, you've come to the perfect place to buy all of this, because only here in Mirabar will you find weapons treated with Everbright. They will keep their shine, they don't rust, they don't get pockmarked, and they even a little bit protected from magic.
Oh. Okay. Bundles of arrows.
So basically, they're just extremely durable. Yes, a bundle of 20 arrows is a gold and 5 silver.
Yeah, that's like... How many McChickens that is?
That's actually a shitload of McChickens.
So yeah, that'll get you a bundle of 20 arrows.
Okay.
We eating good tonight, boys.
Buying...
So 3 gold for 40.
We need more than that.
How many are you looking to buy?
We'll buy 4 bundles, so it's 6 gold?
Okay. He'll cut you a deal and he'll make it 5. He'll take a gold off for you.
Perfect.
It's a lot of arrows.
That is a lot of arrows.
He's
That's
just
80
like, all
arrows.
right,
Okay.
and he's just like, oh, good luck funding your army.
Thank you. Thank you. Jerry Bones, step up.
That's a really like genuine thank you. Like, yes, I'm funding my army.
It is. It'd
Literally,
be like that.
see, I don't even have to worry about carrying all this shit. Alright,
Nope.
so I literally, like, put, like, a bow, like, on, like, Tabitha, Terry, and Bones, and, like, give them, like, a bundle of arrows
Yeah.
each,
Yeah.
and then,
You send them with their lunchbox
yes,
with
Tabitha,
a sandwich
who
cut
has
diagonally.
the giant backpack, is like, I'm just gonna put the other bow and the other 20 arrows in there.
Yeah.
I'm just like, soon.
Sure enough.
Uh-huh.
All right. Is there anything else you guys are looking for? Anything more interesting, or there's a number of different shops and the like. I
I want
know
to be done in the north as quickly as possible.
you guys are gonna be here a minute, so.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
I can leave it at any
Outrun
point.
the cold.
I know
Just outrun the cold. You know?
in
Be a fast
Everland, Moyer, you were like looking for magical items and the like. Are you still wanting to look for that, or?
Sure, yeah.
All right.
I'll throw on
I feel like this is a clue.
I'm just
Or a
okay.
bait.
I felt bad because last time he checked, I didn't give him jack. I randomly rolled for an item and it was useless to him. Yeah. So I was like, I'm gonna do better this time, and so I'm just offering. If you don't want it, that's fine. But I'm just offering because I felt bad. So you know,
take it.
that's the DM going my beat. But yes,
Nope.
You take a look around. There's a number of different shops. You do find there's a what looks like an alchemist shop called it is called a soothing salve. You might be able to find some sort of maybe potions or the like, or other things there. And then you can also find another place that seems promising called Dermvar's Fine Wares. So those are a couple things that you can find.
I'll go to Durvar's then.
Okay. You walk inside. And the inside of this place, so, and as you walk up to the front, there's like these, again, you see the large sheets of this shining metal, lots of copper that's been placed on kind of the outer walls. Man, my internet is taking a friggin' dump right now. What is
Stop.
What is happening? I don't know. I don't know. All right, sorry. I don't know what's going on. Anyway. So yeah, lots of this shining metal on the outside. It's got some kind of like some rich purple looking banners. And as you walk inside, it's warm. It seems many of the storefronts here have fires and the like to keep them going. You do see a dwarf. Another blonde one. This one, very, very large mutton chops. I mean, they're impressive. And as you walk in, he greets you. And he says, welcome to Dernvars. You looking for something nice, are you?
Yeah. Do you have anything magical?
Of course I do.
Straight shooter, I like it.
Yeah.
It's just like he kind of looks you over and he's just like, well, you seem like you've seen the outdoors a lot. I take it traveling type, maybe adventuring type.
Something like that, yeah.
All right. Well, I might have just a thing for you. And he kind of searches around for a little bit, and he off the wall there's like he pulls down this bag. It's a big old sack. Do you say you had detect magic up?
Yeah.
Okay, it is magical. And as he gives this to as he puts this on the table, he's like, let's see, where's here, we'll just take this. And he grabs like a long, just like a fire poker kind of thing, and where he just drops it into the bag, and the bag doesn't seem long enough to contain the whole thing. So just whoop right.
I need
in.
one of those. Sweet.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, he's just like, so here we have it's a bag of holding. Very popular with the types who need to carry a lot, but that stuff gets bulky. So there's that. It's helpful for most people.
Definitely use that, yeah.
All right, so he puts that down off to the side. And then he's like, now, you might find these interesting, you might not. Who knows? But he takes, and it kind of goes off to a little side box, and he pulls out, and he places up on top. There's these these shoes. And he's just like, and they have like they have almost like a elven scrolling on them. And he says like, well, should, for whatever reason, I won't judge as long as it's probably not here in the city. He's like, should you need to, climb anything, these will be immensely helpful for you. These would be the slippers of spider climb. He places those down.
I'm poor.
Also very useful.
And then finally he pulls out a little stick. And he's just like, this is just a wand that helps you find other magical items, should you need it. And places that down as well. So, a wand of detect magic. which for you might not be terribly important, or maybe you do want it. Who knows?
I don't have that much money.
So,
How much does the bag and the boots cost?
those would be about 500 gold apiece. The wand would be about 400.
I may be back.
All right. It'll be here should you want it. Unless somebody else takes it first. Keep that in mind.
I will.
With these prices.
Who could possibly resist?
Okay.
I
Okay.
meant the opposite. Like,
Well,
I'll go over to the group now, I guess.
So he relays to you
Having
what he
to
found.
delay my plate mail again.
Hello.
I could slap 173. That's
Well,
all in.
Close.
How
What
much
do
did
you
he say?
500 for the bag of holding.
500 for the bag of holding, as well as the boots.
I can commit this many.
And how much does he hold up?
Yeah, how many is that?
I don't know. You need to count it because
Is it just like a palmful or what?
I mean it's more like 2, I guess.
I have like 240 gold.
It's like
So-
44 gold.
Hey,
Hey,
I have 300.
worth.
Yeah, the bag of holding is pretty much worth it. So
Can keep bodies in there, so
could keep a lot of bodies in there. Yeah,
I was thinking the equipment for the bodies, maybe.
that's
why not both?
Yeah.
What if somebody empties out the bag of holding and they just see us carrying dead bodies?
I don't know what you're talking about. Someone's gonna walk up as we're just like stuffing a body into this.
nothing,
God.
nothing to see here.
It's
We
for
could probably,
investigation.
So Ethan, you know how I was talking about how we could find some bones for you, like if we had the
True.
bag and we
Yes.
weren't like they're long,
Mhm.
it's maybe more possible. But also you could just like, I think the bag of holding is really important. The boots,
Yeah.
sure, maybe.
Yeah.
I think we have enough for the boots collectively, as well as the bag.
Why do we need boots?
The boots with spider climb. I don't know. I could see where it would be useful, but like situationally useful.
Also, I don't think we have that much gold.
Okay. Oh, so it's just 500 for the bag?
Yeah.
Well, I can kick in 100 for that, even though the armor in my future is far, far, far away, and ever getting further.
I could kick in 100 too.
I mean, when you're supplying an army, it costs money. You gotta spend money to make funny rank, alright?
So 100 from Yarl, 100 from Malachi,
Malachi.
And 40 gold from me.
40 from Ethan, so you're at 240.
I'll chip in the rest, so 260.
Perfect.
There you go.
Remove 40 gold.
Question.
Yeah, what's up?
What would be the best way to attempt to find a Zenturno contact?
Well,
Have like a secret handshake.
the best way to do it
Well,
would probably be to talk to a contact you already have
And find out. who
and
they
work
are.
through the network and get information about where you're going and be like, who can I talk to when I get there? Would be the best way to do it.
Wait a minute. Sorry.
Other than
The
that,
worst way to do it would be to ask the Harpers.
probably.
They might know.
I mean, they might,
it's no point.
but you
It's
know,
not a point.
who knows?
Hey,
Can confirm.
But it's kind of a tricky situation because you have a secretive network that, you know, like unless you have somebody like the guy who was running the shop, who is just blatant about it, which is few and far between. There are a few, and if you find somebody like that, great. Other than that, you're probably going to be using the contacts you already have to make connections elsewhere. So you have a fair amount of connections south. South of there, kind of in the Desserin area. So around, like, you have, like, say, over at Phandalin, in Tribor, you have a contact. You also have, like, Beliard and Yartar that you probably know some people around. So in that general area, it'd be very easy to find somebody you need. Is there anything in particular that you wanted the Zentarum for?
Have them.
Were you looking for jobs? Are you looking for information?
Jobs.
Okay. Yeah, what's up? Ethan.
How many shiny rocks do we all have?
Are we at 500 yet?
Yeah, I said Moyer finished off the rest of it.
Excluding this.
Excluding.
Oh, excluding this, I have 142 gold.
I have 100.
I have 73.
Well,
There you have it.
I have one option for you, Cap. Well, two. Okay. This is what we can do.
Communism.
Either, and I'm gonna like rummage through like the bag that Tabitha's holding and just like take out the box with the spells in there.
Mhm.
I take out the scroll, just like, bam. I'll let you talk to people.
What?
What?
I think it's like a feely stuff in your head, and you can talk to.
Like
what are you
through
implying?
your mind, or like?
It's like a message, like a short message.
So, like mind messaging.
Yeah,
That'll destroy the scroll, right?
if I have enough shiny rocks, I can copy
Learn it?
Yes.
That's what you're saying. So you want us to give you gold so that you can learn the spells that you got from
Well, one of the spells.
one of the spells. How many do you need?
150?
150?
Oh my god, I can't.
Well, I'll tell you what,
Fuck,
because
dude, this is
I'm really proud of you
expensive.
for learning about commerce. I can give you 50, but I literally won't really have enough to actually live if I give you much more than that.
Okay. Like, strictly out of character. Okay. I can't remember his name. The guy that was like, I swear I met him. That was like blatantly a part of your organization.
Oh. The fucking...
Earlham.
The one guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
His name was Earlham. He ran Tribor Travelers.
He was a great guy. It's the whole Centarum thing.
He was the one who sent you to go find out information about the crazy lady. He paid you for information about Othavir. Yeah. He supplied you with like basically 1,000 gold worth of gems for those two jobs.
He's a cool guy.
Good guy.
Fucking
Or-
good
Yeah,
friend.
I mean we have these gems, but they're what I can use to bring you back to life if we need to. So I feel like I have 2 of them, right? That's what I have in my notes.
I don't think we ever sold them, so
Yeah.
should still have them.
You should have. I know at the very least you had enough for one use. Isn't it 300 gold?
Yeah, I think I saved 2 of them.
Okay. So yeah, you have
And then
2
you pull the other.
gemstones or 2 diamonds worth 300 gold. So you could cast Revivify twice, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So, mildly important.
Yeah, I feel like we should keep those.
Well, yeah. I mean, we don't
It's just I could
need
ask.
mist right now.
We could sell a few magic things.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. Like, I know Luskan is a dangerous place, but if there's anywhere we can go for like kill giants for money mercenary work, that would be it. But I guess further up the coast, they might be doing that too. They might like be looking to hire mercenaries to deal with giants. And since we're gonna go up there anyway, it kind of makes sense that we would participate, don't you think?
Yeah. I just want money.
So
That's what he's getting at.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if we're looking to try and get money out of this thing that we're doing anyway, I think that's probably the way to do it.
Yes. What?
So,
It actually sounds like a whining kid.
well, that's
It really
basically
does.
what Binks is. So,
Goodbye.
so you guys,
Yes, he
you
really
turn
nails
over
one.
the 500 gold.
Yeah.
Dernvar gives you your bag of holding, and he's just like, all right, enjoy.
Thank you.
This giant fucking bag I bought for Tabitha is worthless now.
I mean, the bag of holding isn't unlimited. Trying to see, how much does that hold?
You know, an amount.
A lot. It definitely holds a lot.
500 pounds, 64 cubic feet.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Jesus.
there you go. You can stuff half a ton of crap in there. That's useful. So yeah, you guys are for the most part no longer going to have to really worry about encumberment and stuff like that. Like Malachi, if you wanted, you could throw some of your other weapons in there, or keep them on you if you want. Whatever you want to do.
Give a lot of them to the skeletons.
Yeah. So.
True.
Yeah. So there you have it. Oh goodness.
Who's holding
So there's that.
Holding what?
the bag?
Dibs.
Well. Yeah.
Sure. I mean, you gotta carry bodies.
Mm-hmm.
And if somebody gets caught with the bag that has bodies in it, I don't want it to be me. So.
Yeah, there's no guilty by association. How? Nah, that doesn't happen. What are you talking about?
No. I never got a fan in my life.
So.
Math adds up, chief.
Okay. What time is it?
At this point,
Go to bed.
5 o'clock or so.
Yeah, we should probably sleep here.
It's actually 6.
Bite me, Hunter.
Oh wait,
Well,
we can
let's-
actually start playing D&D now. Okay.
Oh.
Let's maybe try and get a boat for the next day, and then go to sleep. Like charter a boat, so that we're not
Sure.
trying to do that in the morning when we don't know anything about what's going on.
Sure. Where's that? Where
Yeah.
could we?
You guys look around for the docks.
Yeah.
You find them. The docks themselves, which it's right on the Mirar River. They are just as heavily fortified as the rest of the city. So you can see battlements, you can see fortifications. They are prepared, because a river is a potential point to attack the city from. So they have to be, equally vigilant. And it seems like a lot of the boats coming through and stopping in the area, there's a process they have to go through to get their boat cleared for docking. And you can find down there. There's a bit of like a dock master who can point you in maybe a direction of somebody who's heading off where you want to go. You see kind of a thin brown-haired man, clean shaven. Looks a little tired. Looks like he's stretched a little thin, trying to take care of a million things at once. So you can talk to him if you'd like to try to find somebody who might be heading where you're going.
Sure.
Okay. You find your way to this man. You tell him you're looking for passage, and he's like, right. Kind of looks around. He's just like, where did you say you were headed? Luskin?
Downriver, yeah.
Right. Okay. No, they're. No, I don't think they have any space. They're pretty much packed out. You might talk to that strange fellow over there. I think he might be heading to Yartar. I don't. That's all I can really help you with. He might be able to help you. Probably your best bet.
Strange fellow?
I mean, you'll know him when you see him.
Wait, what do you mean by Yartar? Where's Yartar? Wait.
Did I say Yartar? I meant Luskin.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry. Getting my cities crossed. Yartar's way south.
Yeah, I was about to say that's really far.
No. There's nobody going to Yartar. there's no river just straight to it. Don't worry that way. Right. So he kind of points off in a direction, and then kind of goes on about his business. Obviously busy. He's going through papers, checking out different people coming out wanting to dock. And so you just kind of overhear him be like, all right, you don't have any contraband, correct? Yes. And you start going kind of like a checklist of things. So you walk kind of along the docks. You see several ships. Nothing too terribly large since this is all on an inland river, but it's a pretty big river, so there's some decently sized vessels. And as you walk down, you see a strange sight. And you see basically there's a humanoid, but real strange looking. Like he's bundled up. Like, I mean, everybody's bundled up, but he's like extra bundled up. So he's a little hard to see. He seems really wide, like really wide. Like from front to back, it's like a long ways. And like you look at his face, and it kind of like takes you back to this strange like reptilian face that's got kind of like a greenish yellow skin, almost like a weird sort of beak, this long leathery neck, and you can see him see this figure talking to a crew, like going through a list, like making sure they've got everything they need.
What do you want?
You can kind of see where the cloaks and everything kind of part a little bit. You start to see what looks like a shell, like a strange like turtle-like shell on his back.
He's a turtle.
Which I would say for most of you, you have not seen this kind of race before. I would say Moyer, you like maybe once, like, and from what little you know about him, this is not the neck of the woods they hang out in. Typically, they are way south, like way south. So you imagine he's a long way from home.
Sir, excuse me.
And as I said, just a minute. And he finishes off. It's like, all right, so you make sure to put that in the back, right. All right, great, you got it. And then he kind of turns around. It's always like, well, hello there. What can I do for you?
You have passage to Luskin, right?
We're making a trip to Luskin. I suppose we could take on a couple passengers. How many you looking to go?
There's a lot more than 5 of us. There's like 8 of us.
Yeah.
8?
Wait, no. The skeletons could just get in the bag right now, right?
Technically.
Right now?
He's alive. Why not?
In front of everybody.
No.
Holy shit, it's like a bomb!
No.
Throw the bag at people, and then Whenever they open it.
So
Boom,
like
skeleton.
not like right this second, but like they don't have to
It's
be people on the
instantaneous.
boat. There's only 5 of us.
They don't have to be people.
Well, they aren't. They're skeletons.
Whoa!
I
I'm not even being. They don't have minds of their own.
5.
Yeah, they do. Terry, tell him.
Ethan, I go over to Ethan. I'm like,
Terry
Ethan,
stares
ask
at all
Terry-
of you.
Ask Terry if they'd like. Shut up. If they'd like. If,
Whoa,
if he'd
don't
like
talk
to
to
ride.
Terry like that.
No, I didn't talk to Terry that way. I was trying to tell Caleb to shut up. Ask Terry if he'd be okay with riding in the bag to save space.
Terry, I know you're not the leader, but Malachi told me to ask you.
God damn it. Okay.
Just picture it.
Or damn it.
Yes.
Okay, so
Exactly.
sir,
They're fine with
5.
it.
They're fine with it. Okay, so 5.
You were needing 5 then.
Yes.
All right. Let me see here. That'd be a couple days travel.
No, I'll ask. Malachi.
Yeah.
So-
What's up?
For the 5 of you,
If you can go, what?
If I can get in the back too.
we'll
I-
call it an even
Maybe?
25 gold.
I don't know if all of you will fit.
Do I know this ship?
You take a look at the ship. It is not necessarily one that you've seen before. It's a relatively a kind of medium sized at best merchant ship, relatively small. Looks like it does a lot of the inland runs probably. But that being said, you are somebody who has sailed, and you might be able to talk a little bit with this individual, and who knows, you might be able to barter it down.
Okay, so you said 25 gold?
For
sir?
the lot of you, yes.
That seems like a lot.
Well,
That is a lot.
I'll be honest with you. I mean, there's all the space that you take up is less space for cargo.
Malachi, I can get in the back. Listen.
Tell you what.
Wait, Caleb. Realistically, could Ethan? I don't think you would enjoy that.
Give you
could-
20 gold right now.
Ethan is technically okay. So it does say a humanoid can fit in the bag of holding. It does also say it doesn't have air in there. Also, Ethan doesn't need to breathe.
So, I mean,
Technically, yes, you could shove Ethan into this strange interdimensional space, and he'd have his own little, I guess, spot.
Nanny with the boys.
I mean, it's definitely
Skeletons
weird,
also
but like,
fit?
It could work.
Skeletons can also fit, right?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah, see?
yeah.
Ethan, if you want to, it'd be weird in
64 square feet. So basically, you're looking or cubic feet. So an 8 by 8 by 8
Yeah.
room is what you're looking
Yeah.
at.
Yeah,
there.
Worth of space.
Okay.
it'd be cheaper.
Does he
We're
really
trying
want
And
to?
I'm like Crane. I get Crane's attention. I'm like, Ethan doesn't need to go in the boat, and I just kind of like put my finger on my nose.
Oh, we're leaving him?
Yep,
Got it. Okay.
definitely doing that.
Wait, you guys are leaving me?
No, we're not. We.
It's
Damn
like
it.
it's like a sack of puppies. We just throw them out back. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So
So how much for 4?
just four of us.
This-
There's only 4 of us riding
Right.
in the boat.
So
Ethan, only 4 of us are gonna be in the boat.
right. So you're telling me that 25 gold would be a little steep for you. All right. He kind of looks at you, and his eyes kind of linger on Moyer, and he's like, "You there? Let me see your hands." Kind of like his hand extends, this weird kind of like long nails on his hand, on his scaly hand, as he's like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to bite you." And do you hold out your hand, or
Yeah.
So he kind of like looks at it and goes like, kind of flips over, pulls up the sleeve a little bit. It's kind of chilly. Just kind of examining the forearm. Is like, I take it you've done some sailing yourself.
Yes, I used to be part of the working ship myself.
All right, very well. You see, a working passenger, no, that's a different story. So, if you're willing to help out a little bit, it's not a long journey. It's only going to be a couple of days. It should probably be pretty fine, but, an extra pair of hands in order to, everybody sleep in and just to keep things running smoothly. I'll tell you what. We'll just have you work along the way. A gold apiece for each of you will be fine.
Pretty first.
Sounds good to me.
So,
4 gold? Are we paying for Moyer too?
Yes.
Well, we're not paying for Ethan.
and he's like, now don't worry about him. It's just 4 gold for the rest of you. It's fine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, that's fine. I pay my gold.
I give
Alright.
him a gold.
So, yeah, 4 gold, and he's willing to take all of you thanks to Moyer.
Ethan, we'll let you try the bag out first to see how you feel about it, and then you can decide if you want to go in the bag. I don't feel like that's going to be something you enjoy too much.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I mean,
Terry, Bones, and Tabitha and I will be chump.
There's no
So-
light in there.
Hunter just wants
I
to skip
have dark
these hours,
vision!
maybe.
So you you've secure passage. Like, all right, well we're leaving tomorrow morning. Let's say be here within a couple hours after. Make it about an hour after sunrise, and we'll head on our way.
We'll do.
Question. Was that 1 gold a price for me?
Yeah, 4 gold for the 5 of you
Okay.
is what it was. So
The shiny rock.
hi, big boy.
You have literally no money right now.
Yes! I gave it all to him! For the bag!
Oh my god, you did what? Did you only have 40 gold?
I guess he doesn't have a cost of living. Like, he doesn't need.
All of it went, all the gold I had went to like 3 different spells for me to learn them. Like,
Yeah.
that was like it was actually like almost like 700 gold. Like, it's retarded. Like,
Yeah. I mean, probably a good use of the money.
Yes, but
Yeah, it's expensive being a wizard. That wizard life don't pay for itself. So, all right, you have
for them, the countless things I've wasted.
you guys have
Those aren't here.
you have passage, and then I take it you guys are gonna find a place to stay for the night.
Yes.
Right. While you're on the docks, and kind of as the business is being talked between Moyer and this turtle, who, by the way, once you secure passage, he's just like, right. So, my name is Beshelthini. You just call me Beshel. Don't worry about it. Right. I'll see you all in the morning then. And
Yes.
so, and then
Appreciate
while
your hospitality.
of course, yeah, it always helps to have an extra hand that knows what they're doing. And Malachi, as you're kind of looking around the docks, you do notice for probably the first time in a long time, you do see a Goliath.
That makes me nervous. I don't want to be recognized. I don't want to have a discussion with him about what we're here to do.
Yeah, you see this tall Goliath, trademark bald head, a mountain of the man, not unlike Malachi, and he's wearing like clothes that are like mostly finely made. They look like they're kind of made to mimic finer clothes. He looks like almost like uncomfortable in them. And they look a little cartoony on something of his size, but he's got kind of like this like cart full of furs that he's starting to pull off of this boat. It looks like he just arrived in town. So that he's a little ways down. He's got his own business, so it doesn't look like he's noticed you or anything.
I'm not. Yeah, I mean that's I kind of expected more, but I'm not. Well, is there anything recognizable? Like, does he have any like markings or tattoos or something like that, or does he like specifically not have tattoos?
You can see that he has some tattoos and markings. It's hard to see what exactly they are, like what they signify from this distance. But you can see that he has some sort of tribal tattoos.
Yeah, and we walked away from from the portal.
You walked away from the tel. Wait, what?
Did we walk away from the turtle, the captain, already?
You noticed this while Moyer was talking with this.
What were you gonna say?
Roll a perception check for me, Malachi. We'll see how much.
Perceptive.
We'll see how much you can make out of his tattoos.
I'm not. Frank isn't very perceptive, but Malachi is. So I still got a 12.
Okay, a 12. Yeah. So you notice on the arms that that there are some markings, and then you start to see some along the neck. It's definitely tribal. Hard to say which tribe he's from.
And I'm like, hey, do you know who that is? And I kind of gesture towards the Goliath.
And he kind of Beshel turns around and is like, looks like they just got into town, so I can't say I do. Kind of looks back at you. He's like,
damn it.
Yeah, sorry. I don't see many of your kind here, so that's interesting.
Yeah, I know we're a little far south.
Oh.
Do you travel up north from here at all?
Mostly make trips between here and Luskin. It's decent trade. It's usually a pretty simple journey. Luskin's a little seedy, but yeah, they respect the trade, so it's mostly just here on the Mirar River is what I do.
Okay.
Simple work, pays the bills.
I'm just gonna try and like walk by the guy, and I think I'm being super cool and inconspicuous.
Yeah.
But I'm not being super cool or inconspicuous. And I'm just gonna try and see if I can make out what kind of tattoos it is.
Okay.
And I'm like,
I rolled a perception check for him, which naturally is just a 4. So I don't think he sees much of it. I think he's pretty caught up in making sure all of the furs and everything are there. So you can get pretty close without this guy noticing you. Lucky for you. I guess for kicks and giggles, roll a stealth check for me, just to try to like blend in with the crowd and be incognito. Just roll a stealth check for me. We'll see versus his god awful perception.
17 with my -1.
Yeah. You can avoid his gaze easily enough. You get closer to him and you start to see a little bit more about the tattoos and everything, and you see a lot of imagery of elk, which you know there is a tribe of the elk, and which explains to you a little bit of why he's out here, because. So there's a few different tribes. The tribe of the elk are a bit of a standout among the other Reged tribes. They deal a lot more with trade. They actually, further up north, there's a set of towns called the 10 Towns. And up there, the elk tribe do a lot of trade with the towns. They've kind of become a bit more civilized in the traditional sense. They've kind of embraced that sort of trading relationship, as opposed to some of the different tribes that raided the towns and the like. So that maybe explains a little bit of why he's out this way. Maybe trying to set up what trade he can. So.
Okay. So I head back to the group,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I kind of go up to. Well, Crane's kind of busy, right? So, Yerl isn't like obviously doing anything right now.
Probably not.
Yeah, I think Yarl and Ethan are probably.
Yeah, Moira and I are probably still.
Yeah, the you two are negotiating and talking business.
Yerl,
Yes.
I found someone from up north, and I want to go talk to them. But in case things go sideways, I could use a companion.
Ah,
Do you mind?
Tabitha will go with you.
I think this is more of a people who are better at talking to other people than I am sort of mission.
Tabitha talks all the time.
To you though, but she's not super experienced in conversations with other people. So
She's just nervous.
right, but like that's the thing is I'm nervous, so I need someone who's super confident.
Huh.
But can you come with me?
Yeah, of
Well-
course, of course.
Okay. I have no idea what kind of greeting I would give, but Malachi would know what kind of greeting
Okay.
he would give.
Yeah. So you go to
I just approach him.
you go to greet this Goliath, who seems a little like he seems so. Probably part of why his perception's so bad. He looks very out of place. He's just like he's looking around, and he's just like kind of taken aback by everything that's going on. He's like keeps checking this cart. Like within the time you've been here at the docks, you've seen him check this cart half a dozen times to make sure that everything's set. And then as you approach, he kind of looks to you, and he's very surprised. Like, did not expect to see another Goliath here.
Right.
And yeah, so he's just like, hell, I didn't expect to see. I didn't expect to see another Goliath. He kind of looks. You kind of see him look you over.
Maybe
Like
notices I don't have
looking
any...
for markings. Yeah, exactly. And then like he's just like, oh, this is a strange sight indeed. You don't have the markings. I don't see any tribal affiliation on you.
Right. So I was. Part of the reason I'm so far south is I didn't really grow up in the north. I was there when I was young, but
What?
we're actually.
So you had
Oh,
a tribe. Which
I did.
Which one did you come from?
God damn it, I don't have the name of the tribe. I have.
Tribe of the Wolf. Was your tribe?
Well, before I was exiled, I was from the wolves.
Ah, you were you were from Isar's tribe then. Yes. Exile.
I suppose you could call it that.
Exile was probably the better option, honestly. Yeah, they're a pretty warlike people, although I think Isar makes sure of that more than anything. Yeah, they do a lot of raiding. I'm from the Elk tribe. We're more traders these days than anything. Much to A lot of the other tribes speak ill of us, but so be it.
Seeing most of civilized society down south of the spine, I wouldn't think that the rest of society would judge you the same way.
Well, he kind of looks around. He's like, "This is certainly the biggest city I've ever been to. Most of the places we trade with are like little fur trappers and like little towns. This is beyond me."
Well, you'd be best to stay this far north. And there's bigger cities south of here, but it gets extremely hot. And I wouldn't lead any of my brothers that way. That's for sure.
Well,
and when I say extremely hot, like, I'm not sure you've ever felt the misery that is. They call it humidity. I think it's terrible.
I mean, yeah, no, I believe it. It's already coming down this way. I can feel the temperature difference. It's yeah, I could imagine much further south than. I mean, even Luskin was a little bit south of here, south of here a little ways, but yeah, I could definitely see that.
Anyway, there's not a good way to put this, but I mean, you might suspect that me coming back north, I'm intending to head back to the glacier, but was wondering if you had any news of the goings on up there.
You're trying to make your way back to your old tribe, then?
Well, it's not exactly to make amends, if you know what I mean.
Well, I think you'd be hard-pressed to, even if that was your intention. Right, yeah, I can tell you a little bit of what's been happening. Well, as frost giants have been doing their rampage. A lot of the town's been raided by them. So, the Reged, we kind of have to stay out of their way a little bit. The wolf tribe in particular, though,
I'm sure he's getting desperate.
Well, I don't know how long ago it was that you left, but I imagine if it's been, a decade or so, at least. Yeah, they've gotten a bit more. Your old clanmates have gotten a bit more, bloodthirsty as of late. Although, again, I expect that Esau is mostly to blame for this. Yeah, raiding of the towns in the general area has kind of gone up since then.
Well, there's Esau and then there's Valkyr, so he might be just following orders at some point.
You mean Tempest?
Tempest.
Yeah. Tempest.
Other.
Yeah. I heard something about him and Tempest being buddy or something like that. Which brings me to another point. If you confront or whatever it is you're planning on doing Esau, be careful. He's I imagine he looks a bit different from when you last saw him. He was getting up. He was Esau was getting up there in the years, and you kind of remember back Esau. He was definitely getting gray in the beard. Strong, powerful man, vicious, but getting older. And this fellow says, yeah, he was getting up there in the years, but now, I mean, he looks like he's maybe 30, 35. I don't know. Maybe it's this weird influence of this god of his, but he looks younger now than he probably has in a couple decades.
Yeah, I expected. I expect a lot of, or a heavy opposition, but we wouldn't be headed there if we didn't believe we could free the rest of my people from his reign, which has been already too long. But
yeah. And with this strange, unnatural phenomenon of him growing younger, who knows how much longer it would last if left to his own devices. Many of the other tribes are a little scared to oppose him, especially now seeing this unnatural display. So, I mean, that's that's no small order, but good luck to you.
I appreciate it. Obviously, the North would be a much better place without him.
No, it would indeed.
One more question, if you don't mind. I appreciate you helping me today.
I didn't expect to see a brother.
The humans up north, and well, the non,
Yeah, the 10-towners.
the other folk, the 10 towns, right? Would they be receptive to me and my group if we came in promising to deal with Esar and maybe the giant problem, or would they see a Goliath and immediately run for the hills?
Well, once upon a time, I would say that yes, they would. They might run you out of town, pitchforks in the leg. But well, the elk tribe, as we've said, we've done some more trading. So at the very least, they won't shoot you on sight. You might understand they'll be a little cautious, but well, with the work of my tribe, we've opened up some trade.
Well, only one of my group is the Goliath, so hopefully.
Yeah, I imagine they might, be wary, but you should be able to
Alright,
talk to them at the very least.
Well, I appreciate it.
Never caught
well,
your name.
My name? Oh, it's. Well, I guess up here they'd call me Skywatcher.
Hmm. And he holds out his hand. He's just like, Horn Carver.
Good to meet you.
So. And yeah. So he's like, I don't suppose you know your way around here very well.
We have a trip down through Lusk, and then we're going to take up north through the towns there.
Right.
But
But
that would be the easiest way.
you probably haven't been here in this city long, I take it.
Oh no, we haven't.
Well, that's unfortunate. I'm sure I'll find my way. He's kind of like looking around at all these buildings and everything.
What are you looking for?
Oh, well, probably a place to stay for one.
I did a Euro, and I'm like, we haven't found that either, have we?
No, actually, now that I think about it.
It's like, well, that'd be a start, and then I might be looking to try to sell some furs, see if we can open up some trade there. I don't suppose you know of any places that work with furs.
Well, we did head by a coat shop down that road.
You kind of
On the left.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
direct him to it, and he's just like, oh well, much obliged.
Very friendly lady, and she didn't freak out when she saw me, so I'm sure she'll receive you with similar comforts, especially if you bring something for her business.
Oh, thank you much. I'll make sure to check that out.
Yeah, but absolutely. Well, thanks for the help, Horn Carver. If I see you again, hopefully it'll be in good spirits.
And he's just like, hope to see you again, Skywatcher. Kind of says with just
He
like
totally expects me to be dead.
just like a little bit of a laughing joke, and kind of like just chuckling to himself. Just it seems that the name Skywatcher seems amusing to him.
Yeah, no, it seems. Yeah, it's not exactly a friendly name that they would have picked.
So there you have it. So you have.
And then I walk away from him in my full cleric garb.
Yeah, he's.
Head back to the group.
Mhm.
I'll head right up to Crane. Like Crane. Well, good news, I guess. You said you wanted to deal with some giants, right?
Always.
Well, I've heard that while my old tribe is still giving the people problems up north, the ice giants seem to be a major problem, and we may be able to find some work dealing with them. So we'd kill two birds with one stone. We can kill giants, we can get money.
Anyways, so.
Yeah, exactly. Might as well be paid for it. You might have to do the negotiating though, because I'm not entirely sure that my kind are received with enthusiasm in the
Yeah,
10
you're
towns.
also not very good at asking for more money. So.
As you're talking, Malachi, you feel like a hand on your shoulder. As you turn around, it's the Goliath again, and he's just like, sorry, just one last thing. So there is one.
Holy shit! You're just as big as Malachi.
He kind of looks down at you. He's like, Uthal is my name. It's a pleasure to meet you. Friend of Skywatcher here.
They call me Malachi. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, right. Tribals. Got
Human
it.
names and it's. I don't know. It's still awkward.
Yeah.
Going in between.
He's like, I mean, I can call you Malachi if you like. You feel free to call me Uthal if that suits you.
Either's fine. I mean, Skywatcher, as you may know, is not exactly the most noble name to be given to a young one of our kind.
I mean,
But
it's a little funny, but I don't put much stock in the old ways of honor and all of that. I mean, again, my tribe and all.
he's not honorable.
Well, just like the
what was
old the old traditions and like
Yeah.
I said, he's no stranger at being laughed at by other, because his tribe trades and Goliaths don't do that.
No.
So,
oh, you said there was one more thing.
yeah. So there is one frost giant in particular I'd keep an eye out for. I think he goes by the name Harshnag.
Oh yeah, we heard of him.
Well, have you? Well,
Dragon skull, something.
yeah, he wears a white dragon skull for a helmet and has this shining plate
He
armor.
was like a good guy, though, right?
Well, I don't really know what his deal is, but he's been slaughtering other frost giants, which makes him all right in my book.
My boy.
Yeah, I think we heard that he was traveling around the north, kind of like a almost folk hero status.
Yeah, he's got quite a name for himself. We've had a little bit of dealings with him. You know, it's been pretty. He's a dude. He's a giant of few words, but he seems a solid sort. If you see him, just don't. He's
Right.
not like
He's a
all the
friend.
rest, and he's a fearsome fighter. So maybe don't piss that one off.
That's fair enough. We've got plenty of tough fights in front of us, I think.
Right. Well, sorry, just figured I'd let you know.
Looks like Tempest is having a temper tantrum outside my apartment right now.
So, and then he kind of goes off
Appreciate it.
in the direction of the furs that the lady that runs the clothing shop that you guys directed him to. So
As he leaves, I'm like, see, I'm not a freak.
Yeah, we'll get back to that.
you do notice that this other Goliath had like way more like markings and tattoos and the sort. You do notice that Malachi does not
He's
have
basically
that.
naked.
Doesn't have that same level. Well, this particular one, he seemed to be wearing like pseudo nice clothes. Like it seems like he's
Okay.
trying to make himself look presentable, but just looks horribly out of place in it, and they don't fit him that great.
Yep.
But that being said, it's also like, I mean, it'd be like somebody's wearing, you know, like it's freezing out, but he's got like kind of like a nice like a vest on or something like that. Like it doesn't fit the climate either, but you know, Goliaths.
Right.
So
Cool.
there you have it. So you guys can find a place the place to stay easy enough. That's just 5 silver per room, typically. So you guys can find that easy enough and bed down for the night, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
I got nothing.
Don't think so.
All right. So, yeah, there's a few places you find. Some of them richly decorated and all that, and you might kind of take a look at that and go, might be a little outside the wheelhouse. But you do find a place that a functional inn, and find your way to sleep for the night, and you awake in the morning, and you've got your appointment, an hour after sunrise, to go hop on the boat belonging to Beshel.
Quit.
So you make your way there.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure there's nothing else anybody wants to get done. All right. So you work your way over back to the docks. You find Beshel's boat. You can see him making last minute preparations, kind of tying boxes down on the boat, and as he sees you all, he says, "Right, there you are. Punctual. I like that. Come aboard." And you all work your way onto the boat. There's a couple other. It doesn't look like there's much of a crew here. A boat of this size doesn't necessarily need a terribly large one. But you all find your way on, and within the hour, you begin to pull away from the docks and begin to work your way down the Mirar River. That kind of heads a little bit south of Mirabar and kind of winds its way lazily westward over towards Luskin, and then over into the Sea of Swords is the name of the large body of ocean directly west of most of the Sword Coast. Moyer, you would be intimately familiar with this body of water. So, you go down. You're going down the river. Moyer helps out with the crew, making sure everything is going smoothly. You all haven't seen too much or heard too much about Moyer and his sailing days, but it's apparent that he knows what he's doing. And the Beshel, after some time, is just like, "I don't suppose I could convince you to stick around for a bit, huh?" He's like, "You're entirely helpful. You seem to know how to do a little bit of everything."
No, my sailing days are.
Well, it's like, I suppose that the retirement comes for us all eventually, or worse. It's like, very well. I'll look forward to having you on over the next couple days.
Yeah.
And you all, anything you'd like to do while you're traveling along? Like I said, lots of the banks are covered with snow. As you make your way out of Mirabar, Malachi, you can look up, and all of you can see this large, this just stretches on as far as the eye can see, mountain range known as the Spine of the World. Extremely high, snow-capped mountains. Lots of, and then that kind of all slope down into a bunch of rolling hills that are all covered in snow. But yeah, that's a very, very large mountain range, and Malachi, you kind of start to think back to your days traveling through there and all the experiences you had.
Definitely looking up at the spine because the temple is up there too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was.
So I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, it was kind of down, almost near the base. It was still a ways up, but not like way up in the peaks.
Right.
But yeah, you're knowing your temple is somewhere up there.
It's probably like more obvious why to everyone else, like why I got the name Skywatcher since you first heard it for the first time. Just like staring off in the distance.
Yeah.
Shit, that should be my name too.
An airhead.
Well, and he's looking for.
Oh, he's
castles
looking for more Thunder Bros. Oh yeah, that's it.
Ethan, you see lots of snow continuing to fall, and this is all still pretty new to you.
These fucking bugs.
I'm like as close to the bow of the ship I can be because I've never been here before,
Mhm.
and I know there's fucking giants and shit around.
Mhm.
So I'm looking out. I'm not.
Right.
No fun allowed.
Yeah.
I'm like,
This is not for funsies.
For reals.
I'm like, the giants will be on the other side of those mountains. By the way.
You never know. Sneaky bastards.
I feel like they're quite the opposite of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and more, you know, you get a little bit of you know, the feeling of being on a boat again. Although this one much smaller than the one you're used to, and it's not open sea, so a little bit different than you're used to, but also familiar.
I'm excited to be on the boat, but not so much on the water.
Mm. Right, land boats is that's where Moyer is at. Land boats.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, and so you take off down the river. Day one seems to go by without a hitch. I think this seems like a decent spot to take a quick little break, use the bathroom. Yeah. Whatever you guys need to do, be back in like 5 minutes or less. Thereabouts.
Your thing.
Alright.
Question.
Yeah, what's up?
Is there someone on the ship named Elizabeth Turner?
No.
So I can tell her to start believing in ghost stories
No.
because she's in one.
There.
And then show her my face.
It's supposed there. I mean, there's a Ben Turner that people for some reason call Bootstrap. You don't know what the story behind that is, but
Part of the ship, part of the crew.
I'll be right back. I totally didn't even think about that. It's totally Pirates of the Caribbean. Skelly bro over there.
I can't leave the ship now.
Oh, well,
Wait, are you in the bag or?
No. I'm assuming not. Sitting over here. Mustard and cheese.
We're gonna get fucked in Luskin. Just calling it now. Yep.
unlucky. That would not be good, quite frankly.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that.
That's a good point.
How to fuck or how to get fucked.
I've been fucked, so I'm a skeleton.
Fair.
I didn't notice.
Fair. Fair.
Also
It's an easy detail to miss.
I mean, yeah, it's easy to miss the Derek's and AI, but we all know.
I mean,
Oh my
I don't know
God.
about that one, Chief. That seems scratchy.
Yeah, he's kept it under wraps. Oh wait, that's me.
I see it.
Dude, why didn't we go to the Mirror of the Dead Men?
The what now?
No,
It's down by Phandalin.
it's not a good place.
It
Probably
doesn't
not. There's a lot of dead people there. We don't want to be dead people.
Live campaign, they're about to be.
sound-
Wait.
Huh?
Which campaign are you guys doing? Oh, the dragon one?
Lord of the Dragon Queen / Rise of Tiamat.
This is after the Lord of the Dragon Queen, right? This one?
This?
Or
Yeah,
this before?
it's like a year or two after, I think.
Oh, okay.
And I think
Oh, so this same character that we're gonna meet might be. Oh, and actually, fucking this asshole we're gonna go kill might be there too in that game, in that one. Fucking. Fucking Isar. Have you guys been up north?
Some scissors real quick.
No.
But we're on a boat, right? I gotta start playing Pirates of the Caribbean soundtrack.
You're welcome.
We're gonna get our asses kicked in one of these fights. Can we even kill frost giants?
Yes!
You think so?
Yes, queen.
I wholeheartedly believe that I can kill one.
Right, but like, can we actually do it?
I believe can.
Who the fuck is watching SpongeBob right now?
I don't know.
You fucking maniac. What are you doing?
Wait, Summoning Insight? They actually have an episode of Summoning Insight? What the hell?
Derek, you'll enjoy this.
It's like,
Derek's not here. He can't enjoy this.
They have a Summoning Insight episode! Dude. Monte Cristo's gonna talk about League of Legends.
Dude, I was playing TFT. I had a ridiculously lucky night where I won like 3 out of 4 games. I was just like, the game was just throwing nobles at me, and I got up to like gold 1 with like 50 LP or something like that, and I was like, cool, I'm really close to getting into plat. And then I hit a streak of real bad luck. Got like 8th, 7th, 8th, and now I'm down to like gold 2-0 LP, and I'm like, dang it!
Feels bad.
So close!
That's kind of like what happened to me in regular league. I got to 99 LP and then I won. And I went to series and I got really bad teammates and I lost twice and I was at like 50.
Oh yeah, my
Like,
luck.
how does that work?
My luck promptly runs out when I hit promos. It's just like, ah, nope. That's it for you.
I have returned, by the way.
Welcome back.
Watched one of
Wait,
these.
who was it? Was it Derek that returned? Hunter isn't
Yes.
back yet? Okay, Hunter's not back yet. But, yeah, kinda, so far I'm liking it. It's, I get to delve into Malachi's stuff a little bit. Get a little bit of Moyer in there. Like I said, I've got some character moments kind of planned for everybody,
I approve of this.
which I hope, Derek, that you enjoyed the High Forest.
I did. I thoroughly enjoyed
Um,
High Force sessions.
it's not necessarily, you know, like everything that's like, all right, yep, that's it for your old, doesn't matter at any other point, but you know.
New character.
You might as well, I might roll up a new character because it's not like he's gonna come into play at any point.
Oh,
So-
no. Just irrelevant now. Dang. Well, we'll try to get more character beats next time.
So, but
I
yeah,
hope you know if Crane dies, you're getting the Great Mom.
okay. I
I'm going to kill Frey now.
I think I can handle that. I'm
I
not.
can't even handle it.
I'm
Yeah,
not
I was gonna
positive,
say,
but I might be able to. Do I?
I'm not even sure when to do his voice.
I'm the great map. The great map. Yeah, I think like we did 3 sessions, and at the end of the 3rd session, you were like, "Thank God I don't have to do this voice anymore."
Yeah.
There will be no witnesses.
I think Frank was the same way with his character that he did. He was just like, "I'm not doing this voice for a whole campaign."
I was.
But yeah, I also didn't want to play that shitty class for a whole campaign either.
I can think of another
What was
class
it?
that I
You were
don't
the
want to do that.
X-Blade, right?
Oh yeah, I was an X-Blade. Maximilian or the other thing, or
I think he played a rogue for. the
Yeah,
one
he
time.
played a drow rogue, and then got really sad when it was daytime because he didn't realize sunlight sensitivity.
Paladin's dumb. I discovered this firsthand.
Oh, paladin's great.
Oh yeah,
I love
it's-
paladins. They're like one of my
it's a
favorite
bit-
classes.
That Goliath was something. I was like, what the hell is this?
So,
I feel like we haven't always we could be stricter about the roleplay requirements of paladinship.
Sure.
Yeah,
I'm-
because
Could be.
I mean, Arjan, when I played him, he was
kind of a dick.
Oh, I mean, not really. He was pretty dedicated to the cause.
Kinda.
The cause
Like-
of murdering thing.
Yeah.
If something was evil and like, yeah, I say if certain things were evil and needed to be put down, he was like, I guess this is what we need to do. Like he was not a stranger to that idea.
Darren just wanted to find the hero, man.
Yeah. And wait, he was the hero. Yeah, he was the hero the whole time. It was Poppy.
He's Poppy.
So.
Yeah.
All right,
That's why
we
he
got
didn't stop.
everybody. We got everybody back.
Yeah, I'm here.
Cool. So,
No.
I said day one.
Get fucked in Luskin.
Day one. Things are going relatively well. It's still super cold.
Not cold.
Well,
Perfectly fine.
for normal people who aren't made of Goliath or bones.
Flesh.
Of rock?
Yeah,
I'm basically a rock person.
yeah, pretty much.
Rock.
So this boat, it does have like this large brazier that's on the main deck, kind of up top. So there's a little bit of relief from the heat to be had there. Underneath the deck, you're at least sheltered from wind. So there's that. It's pretty cold and you have to bundle up. Again, normal people. You have...
So Ethan and I are chilling.
Yeah, you guys are
But, like,
having a
not
grand old
chilling,
time.
But like, yeah.
The
So,
rest of us are chilling, all right.
yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a kind of a cargo hold under the main deck. Again, not terribly large, and it kind of seems like some of the boxes have been stacked up and pushed to the side to give you guys a little bit of an area to kind of like to sleep. There's not a whole lot in the way of extra like quarters. Which Beshel's kind of like we don't usually take on too many extra passengers, so I apologize. This is the best we
That's
can
okay.
do.
Last time I went north with a spine, I walked over it. So this is luxurious as far as I'm concerned.
You Goliaths, man, he made us some stern stuff. See, and he kind of like gestures to it's like this giant mound of furs that he's just got layered over him. And he almost like when he walks, he almost looks like a strange, weirdly shaped bear or something like that. You don't actually see him, but you see lots of fur. He's just like, well, you see, my kind, we're more used to the tropical zones, if you will. He's like, I've been doing this for a couple of years, but it's still cold.
You know, what's got you up north?
He's like, well, that's a funny story, isn't it? He's like, well, you see, let me pull my notes real quick. I did have a couple things written down about him. He's like, I'm from a sleepy old island, way south of here. And, you know, it was a grand old time. I lived there for 150 years or so, and then
Oh, you what?
yeah, it was a fair amount of time, you know. I kind of felt like it was time for a change of scenery, you know, and so I started making my way up north. Found my way onto a few boats, learned what I could. Open sea is dangerous. I mean, I'm sure this one can tell you. There's all sorts of craziness out there, and well, I decided, you know, I learned about this little run, this Mira River we got going on here, and like I said, it's a pretty safe journey. Things usually go pretty smoothly, although I guess with all of the giant attacks, who knows? But you know, it's a decent way to make money. It's not too dangerous, and yeah, it's just kind of where I found myself, I suppose. But so I don't know. It wasn't really a plan. I just kind of found my way here, I guess.
Yeah, well, it's easy for it to happen like that.
So, yeah. So day one, pretty easy. Day two, is anybody kind of keeping? I see. Crane said he was keeping an eye out. I have a perception check from him. Sure. Let's do perception checks from anybody who, if you want it, you can take it. If you feel like your character would be gazing out.
19.
Okay.
Let's
What
go.
about looking at the water?
Do what, Moyer?
Not looking at the open water.
Okay. So you are specifically not looking. Okay.
The opposite.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
15.
15. So we got a 15. We got a 19. Crane, 21. Yerl, did you want one?
Nah, probably won't be.
All right. So 15, 19, and 21. You got your bases covered. So, Crane. We'll say you spot this first. So as you look kind of down the river a ways, it kind of starts to, you start to see large, like the river, which at some parts is like, you know, a solid like 30, 40 feet wide, you know, it's and sometimes even a little bit wider than that. And other times it narrows, and at one of the parts where it starts to narrow, you notice that some of the water off in the distance looks like it's like kind of like freezing over. And so you got large chunks of ice that are kind of lining the sides of the river. And the actual moving water part kind of thins very, very narrow up ahead.
There aren't any people on this boat named Rose, are there? I'm just
No
complaining
Rose, no Elizabeth, nobody named Leonardo. Like
His name wasn't Leonardo. I don't even know his name was in the movie. But
it was
somebody-
Jack.
It was Jack. Yeah,
Yeah.
no Jacks.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other boat movies. But
Yeah. There's no. Oh, what was it? Oh, the guy played by, was it Tom Hanks that did it?
Oh,
Captain Phillips?
Castaway?
No, is it
Yeah, yeah.
Captain Phillips? Was it? Where like the pirates attacked, and it's where the
Actually, this
meme.
I'm the captain now?
Yeah, that's where that meme came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, none of
That
that.
movie. Its name is I Am the Captain now.
No.
There are any volleyballs named Wilson though.
No, that's the real. Listen,
Like that's the real concern.
that was the saddest moment in that movie. I don't care what anybody says. Friggin' Wilson, rest in peace. You will be remembered.
So when I noticed that, I'm like, is that normal part of the trip?
Yeah, do we need to be worried about that ice up there?
You bring this up to Beshel. He kind of looks up ahead. He's like, he kind of sighs to himself, like, yeah, that's. It's gonna take a little bit longer. We're gonna have to pull off to the side and start chiseling our way through. But yeah, this happens. While it is relatively smooth on this river, you know, it's.
Ethan, do you know any fire magic?
Wait, let me see if I know any fire magic. It's fine. Where's Zeph when you need
So
him, man?
he kind of starts to get the boat and kind of start slowing it down and try to bring it to the bank of the river. As he starts calling
What
out
does acid do with that kind of stuff?
with ice. Yeah, it can burn through it. I think.
Yeah.
You know, a little ways, and then it starts to get watered down by the ice. I would
I have
think,
fire.
but a fair amount.
You have fire.
Force.
You have
Yes.
fire.
Force,
Yes.
yeah. If you force, I mean, I think you could probably
force
blow
too.
like a chunk out of it. You know, like
What
it help.
What about putting ice to sleep?
No.
Now there's because obviously
Now
you
that's
know
an idea.
because
That's an idea.
it's if it's not awake, it can't hold itself up, so it'll just sink to the bottom, and you guys
Exactly.
just float right over the
Mhm.
top.
The math adds up.
Brilliant.
Judging by the trajectory of the moon and the sun,
So.
It'd be
So-
great if our wizard knew fireball.
So he starts pulling off to the side, and he's kind of calling out to his crew, and he's like, "All right, grab some picks. We got some work to do."
Uh,
Bones, Tabitha, Terry.
No, they're in
Oh?
the bag.
Wait. Well, you're right.
No need-
I could just.
Well, you're right.
I would have cast Elemental
we got
Bane with
this.
fire on the ice. Cause
Elemental Bane.
yes.
I think I know this spell.
yeah.
Let me.
Man, it does have to be a creature. I think.
I'm about to say. I think that might be a creature.
So that is a factor. To be fair,
Ice can be a creature.
Sacred Flame's a spell, not a cantrip.
got a point.
Does it count as humanoid?
It does not count as humanoid. It does not.
We've been
You can't argue this one. All
So
right.
if we
If I could
chisel it
if I could just
into a
break it
human
up,
shape.
if I could just break it up for you, does that work? Like we can, because I might be able to make this go quicker if that's the case.
And he kind of looks at all of it. And he's like, I mean, yeah, I'm gonna chisel through this. Feel
Oh,
free to help
What
out.
what about Shatter?
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, he's like, I mean, we're gonna clear a path. It's gonna
All right,
take.
well, before you slow down, let me give it a try. And I.
Well, he's already kind of like pulled off to the side, but it's still a little ways ahead. He's not like in it.
Okay, so I get up to the front of the boat when we're within 60 feet,
Yeah,
Love it.
you're within 60 feet.
and I cast Shatter. on the-
Okay,
The ice is gonna have to give me a Constitution saving throw.
it fails. Roll
Debatable.
damage for me, just for funsies. And I'm gonna say it does like against double damage against constructs and stuff like that. I mean, it's ice. I think this would do double damage against ice, personally.
Agreed.
So we'll call it that.
We'll call it fair.
8. So 19 times 2 is 38.
Okay. Yeah, a creature made of inorganic material, such as stone, crystal, or metal, has disadvantage. It's an inorganic
Nice.
material.
Seems like
It's
the-
crystally. Yeah, I see no reason why not. So 38.
Mhm.
Is that doubled?
That's the doubled.
Okay, I was gonna say because if that wasn't, yeah, it's like 24 max. Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, so as they start to pull out picks and things, and you're just like, just a second, and you cast the spell, just boosh, and just like ice chunks go flying. I mean, there's like this loud thunderclap.
It does specifically say they're blown 10 feet away. from the
Yeah,
center.
yeah, and there's like little pieces, and they kind of like a couple even manage to find their way over and pelt the bow of the ship a little bit. Water splashes up over onto like the banks and all of that, and Beshel's just like, whoa, well, all right then. And kind of take a look. There's still like, it looks like you blast away maybe like over half of what was there, of a decent chunk, and it just looks like there's honestly only maybe a little bit of ice left. He's like, well, now that's a handy trick.
You should see what it does to a monster.
I think I'm good, but I'll take your word for it.
goblins.
Oh god. Those
Yeah,
poor
didn't I
things.
kill like several of those guys? Like a lot of goblins.
You nuked like 12 goblins at onst.
Because he maxed damage on it too. So
Yeah, you used Channel
so these
Divinity, and you
hobgoblins were
nuked
just-
an entire room full of goblins. But
Sure.
Besh was just like, well, I can't say I've really met a goblin before, but
Oh, they're terrible things.
are they?
Nasty, nasty creatures.
Well,
Rude.
I'll take your word for
They,
it.
We'll admit,
they
kind of.
imprison wolves and like make them do their bidding and stuff. It's terrible.
I mean, it's kind of like having a pet, I suppose. But
Yeah, but you should treat your pets well. You know, shouldn't tie them to a pole and.
well,
not keep
no,
them.
I'd imagine not. Right. Well, this looks like there's a little bit left. We'll clear this up much quicker now.
While they get off and clear it, my trap senses are kind of tingling,
Mhm.
and I'm just sitting at the bow of the ship, like staring out into the land.
Sure. Yeah. Perception check.
Hopefully, I scared off any assholes.
Yeah, you did see some birds kind of go fluttering away from around like the hill area. Like, is it
24.
okay? You keep an eye out. As far as you can tell, coast seems mostly clear. Yeah, you don't see too much as of yet. Like I said, it's still snowing out, and you kind of look up, and still you can only see cloud. You still can't see any break in the clouds just yet. So it looks like the snow might be continuing on for some time. So, but you don't see any threats or anything like that. You might see a couple critters that go running out of bushes and the like due to that noise, but nothing that seems aggressive towards the boat.
Okay.
Yeah, what's up, Malachi?
I totally could have like done something even better than that.
I mean, do you want to do anything else before they take off to go try to chisel away at this?
I don't really want to use my 4th level spell,
Okay.
so it's good.
Yeah, so you
I
blew
could have
away.
used control water.
You blew away a large chunk, big old chunk, and so what would have taken probably a few hours, now takes less than one. They get to work and they start chiseling away, and as they come and then it gradually widening, what was left, a large chunk of it, like I said, just jagged, big open hole for the boat to pass through. And as they return, Beshel kind of looks over to Malachi, flips you a gold coin, and it says like, "I'd say you earned this back."
Appreciate it. I look at everybody else like, ha. Look how cool I am.
I didn't pay for myself, so.
So you.
Wait, are you in the bag? Are you in the bag right now? Is that
No.
what's...
No, he's not in the bag. So yeah, it continues on, and
You're kind of lucky in that respect that you don't need any food because like I think it costs me $2 a day to live.
so
Chickens.
2 gold.
So yeah, you guys continue on your way, and yeah, the rest of the day goes by pretty smoothly. As it starts to get closer to dusk. You got maybe an hour and a half of daylight left, but you can start to see off in the distance. Well, you start to see. First, you see the road that runs kind of alongside the river start to come into view, which seems like if you didn't take the boat, that would have been the road you traveled to get to Luskin. You see a couple people traveling along it. You don't see too many of the merchant-looking types. It seems like most of them use this river. And a matter of fact, as you travel down this river, there was a couple times where, like, it gets a little awkward trying to
Squeeze.
yeah, and so you kind of have to pull off to the side. But you start to see off in the distance kind of the along the horizon, what looks like a city. You start to see the shapes, and it looks like a wall, and maybe some buildings. Hard to see too much from here. But the first thing that you will do another perception check from who wants it. I don't care.
I don't think I've ever been to Luskin.
Nope.
18.
Well, probably not.
Well, actually,
Since
if I went from
pathway that you
Raven
took.
Rock to Neverwinter,
Okay, yeah, then you might have. Yeah, you very well might have. If you were taking the main roads, then you probably would have passed through Luskin.
so I've been here before. Okay.
Yeah, you remember it being kind of a weird, dirty city, but honestly, at the time, I think you probably it was one of the first places you saw. You probably just figured this is just how things are. And so, as you made your way down towards Neverwinter, you were probably like, "Oh, well, this is a bit nicer than the last place I saw."
I probably like up here. It probably like makes a little bit more sense. Like people might recognize Cord clerics a little bit more than down south, so might have used that.
Yeah,
Back then.
yeah. It's in this area. It's not unheard of. And as a matter of fact, I would say even like Mirabar, there might have been a few followers of Cord there, and he's not unheard of.
And generally, people will know not to fuck with me.
So, yeah, you start to pull up to Luskin. Right, perception checks. What were those for whoever wanted? 18. What was that, Derek?
14.
14.
15.
15. If you don't want to take it, you don't have to. Okay. All right. So Malachi would be the first one to spot this. And so the first thing you notice after kind of starting to see the outline of the city is there's a large plume of smoke rising from the city. Pretty large. It's just this thick black column that reaches up into the sky.
Hello?
Is that how I saw it last time?
Do what?
Is that how I remember it?
Nope.
Oh, so it like might be on fire. Okay, I go to the captain. I'm like, hey, is that normal?
And as it takes a little bit, Beshel doesn't see quite as well. But as you start to pull up, you start to see the cloud. He's like, well, no, can't say that I've seen that before. It's probably not a good thing, if I had to guess.
You might want to let us out before we get to the docks. I'm not sure that this that you necessarily want to be in town yet.
Well, I suppose we could do that.
I mean, they talked about ice giants. This is pretty far south for them, wouldn't they? But
Well, I mean, there's been more, definitely. They've been kind of moving outside of their usual stomping grounds. I mean, they mostly kept to themselves, but well, yeah. If you, I don't suppose there's some way you give us some sort of signal if everything's okay.
sure, we could do that.
It's much appreciated. So yeah, he pulls off to kind of next to the side of the bank, and lets you kind of extends a ramp, and lets you all down to the road if that's what you guys want to do.
I'm looking to get into town, figure out what's going on.
Okay. The rest of the group all cool, moving along.
Yep.
Question:
Cool.
Which of these is like the 10 towns? Is it Bryn Shander?
So Bryn Shander is like the biggest, like kind of like it's in the center of Icewind Dale. It's on a high vantage point, kind of like you can see a lot of the surrounding area
Oh,
from
so there's
there.
a bunch of smaller villages around it.
Yes, there's so Bryn Shander would be one of the 10 towns. It's probably like the biggest out of all of the 10 towns. So there's more.
The thinnest of the towns.
Yeah, there's more there in the area. They're just not listed on this big map. But there are definitely more in the area. But yeah, Bryn Shander is, like I said, it's at the heart of the Icewind Dale. It's got the biggest population of people in the area. So pretty main, sizable town.
Okay.
So you all continue on down the road to move towards Luskin. So, like I said, you start to see that this thick thick cloud of black smoke is rising from what looks like the harbor, because it's so the river, the Mirar River, empties out into the Sea of Swords, and Luskin is right, like it's on either side of the river and right at the mouth, so it's like right there. And from the harbor area, it looks like that's where the smoke's coming from. As you move up closer and you reach the outside of Luskin, you don't see like any traditional looking guards really. There are a few men and women who seem to be patrolling, but they don't really share a uniform. You do see that they have tattoos, and they seem to symbolize an allegiance of some sort to some sort of group. You see a few different ones. But many share tattoo markings, but not like an official uniform or anything like that. Many of them look more like mercenaries. Some of them wear clothing that you would expect to see more on a pirate crew or something like that. The few walking around seem distracted, and you see many people kind of in the street talking to each other and pointing at that large column coming up from the harbor. So
there's a bunch of people gathered.
You see a few in the street. There's not like a big gathering. You just kind of see throughout the street. There's a fair amount of people who have come outside of their homes or other buildings to kind of see. And then, like I said, they're talking and pointing at the large column of smoke, just kind of scattered throughout the street.
I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, so you find your way over to this human who's kind of sitting outside or standing outside their house, and so you walk in and he's like, "Oh, you new to town? Well, I mean, this just recently happened, so I don't know how accurate the information is. From what I heard, it sounds like frost giants attacked or something. I think the Brotherhood up at their tower dealt with the problem. It seems like, hence the smoke. I think they came in on a boat, and well, yeah, I don't know if that boat's seaworthy anymore. That's all I know about it. That's what I heard. Is frost giants attacked, and then the Brotherhood showed up and took care of them."
Well, if something can take care of a band of frost giants, are not to be reckoned with.
But they might be interested in.
Oh, right. The Arcane Brotherhood. Yeah, they're a group of wizards. They mostly keep to themselves in their creepy ass tower.
Ass tower.
Yeah, it's you'll know it when you see it. Things are real unnerving. But yeah, no, they seem to keep to themselves for the most part. But they've helped out the town before with other threats, and frost giants didn't know what hit them.
I do. Fireballs. For sure.
Not today.
Oh yeah.
I guess we can go back and tell.
Hey Ethan, maybe you can get them to teach you how to use a fireball. I would give you money for that. Just going to spell fireball.
Sounds dangerous.
All right. Well, we can at least we can let our friends know it's safe to come to town. So, I guess we could head back out and kind of like wave at them, like.
Yeah. You go back out and kind of wave to them. You see Beshel wave back, and then you see the boat kind of start to pull off of the bank and then move further down the river and into the harbor. So, yep.
And I go to Ethan and I'm like, hey, if they're attacking this far south, we might be able to get the town to pay us to hunt them down.
Yeah.
Although I heard the leaders here are kind of fishy, difficult to deal with. Granted, you specialize in that, so.
Yeah.
Well, so as you guys start to work your way into the
Oh, no.
city.
Did I say I went to Ethan for that? No, I went to Crane.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah.
You
I
guys.
was like,
Hey.
Ethan, we can get them to pay us so that you can learn how to use a fireball.
and then you're
So-
just like, yeah, and then you deal with the weird, and then it's like,
So yeah, the city, as you get to see more of it, it is split in half by the Mirai River. The halves are connected by these vaulted bridges that span the river, that presumably were built to let ships pass through. At the mouth of this river, where it empties out into the ocean, you start to see there's several small islands with more bridges connecting a few of them to the city. The largest island holds a tall tower on the south side. There's a bright light that beams out towards the ocean from the top of the tower, which now you're starting to see. You can see out into the large, almost endless expanse of water that is the Sea of Swords. As you look out past the islands, you can kind of start to see glimpses of it between the buildings. I think this is probably the first time for Ethan to see the ocean. So Ethan's getting all sorts of firsts. The rest of you, I mean, Moyer obviously not. Malachi's come through this way before, so he's seen. I mean, you all were in Neverwinter, which is a port town, so it's possible that you saw bits of
I've
the
been
ocean.
a lot of places.
Yeah.
oh,
So Neverwinter, you probably saw bits and pieces of it, but I don't think Ethan's seen too much.
No.
Yeah,
I'm going to
Moyer,
town.
you kind of start to look out in the and just memories, because you've sailed that bit of water quite a bit, and a little reminder of your own personal goal outside of whatever it is you're doing with this group, and maybe just a little like I said, a little reminder of there is something you want to do.
I'm actually so confused now that I'm thinking about it. You mentioned Neverwinter, and I'm like, wait, Waterdeep is down there. And there's supposed to be a whole mountain under Waterdeep, but like it's not on a mountain. And that's confusing me. But that's not part of. Never mind. Don't worry about it. I'm
Yeah.
just like my brain went on a tangent.
So you see this like lighthouse kind of tower from one of the main larger islands on the south side of it, and then on the north side of it you see another tower, this one looking a bit more ghastly, and this tower as it gets closer to the top, it seems to split into multiple kind of thinner looking spires at the top. From a distance it might look like a giant dead leafless tree, but as you get up close it kind of looks more like a clawed hand almost bursting out of the ground. Each of its fingers a tower with many peering windows. And if you guys are moving towards the plume of smoke?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you'll have to cross over to kind of like the northern side of the town. And as you come up to the first bridge to cross over, you kind of see there's a couple mercenary-looking types. And as you approach, one says, "Hold." Kind of looks you over. Is like, "You're not with one of the ships. So I have to use one of the bridges further down."
Why is that?
Because this one leads to our island. And you kind of see, so like the bridge goes to an island where you can kind of see a few buildings on there, and then there's another bridge that leads from that island to the other side. He's just like, "Sorry, Blood Island's off limits to anybody not with a ship."
With Nash, right?
Do what?
We're with Nash.
He's
Oh
just
yeah.
like, Nash? Is that what you
Nash?
said? So you're just trying to make up a name?
No. I forgot the turtle's name apparently.
Beshel?
Bash.
Bash, yeah, Bash.
Okay.
How did you get Nash?
I don't know how.
I was like, who's Nash? No, Beshel. And he's just kind of looks at me, he's like,
Bashal's crew.
he's just like, I I don't care if you're part of some random crew coming in here. No, you gotta be one of the 5.
Oh.
You'll find another bridge just down the way. It'll take you straight across. Use that one.
Malachi, there's 5 of us.
We're not. No, he knows that we're not. He means the 5. Yeah, the leaders of the
High
city.
captains.
High captains. Yeah.
So, which apparently they call ships, and those groups are apparently called ships. So yeah, they point you down to another bridge that goes straight across. That's a little bit of a walk down, but that one apparently off limits.
Okay. Is the one down farther a shittier bridge?
And no, it's a passable bridge. I mean, everything here is kind of dirty, but it looks just as dirty as the other bridge.
Okay.
So
Yeah, but we might want to. Here's the thing: is we might have wanted to talk to one of the 5 to get them to pay us to go kill mountain giants. Is what I'm saying, right?
I mean, you can try to convince.
Nah, I don't. I don't think we want to make a big stink in town. So if it's easy to get that job, then sure. But if it's not, like, why are we?
Not worth it.
We want to move north. Yeah.
No, that's fine. So you find your way to the next bridge over. It looks like there's 3 in total that span. Like, again, the first one that goes to an island and then continues on to the other side, and then 2 more that just go straight across. And you walk your way across. You see the water that's flowing underneath the bridge and out into the ocean. I think Moyer might like pointedly not be looking in that direction, based off of previous comments. And you find your way over to the other side, and you kind of see there's like there's a sort of beach area with some docks set up, and from close by there, that's where the smoke seems to be rising. And as you work your way over into that direction, you start to see more and more of the guards, if you will, in the area. And you can see a long ship, a very, very large boat, obviously giant sized, but a long boat. And it is on fire. I mean, there is a large, pillar of flame on this thing. It looks like it's burned through a large portion of the boat already, but I mean, it's gonna be a minute until this thing goes out. And then around the water, you can see large charred corpses that are just floating in the bay. You see about like a half dozen or so giants that are just dead in the water. Most of them, like I said, just like scorched, large parts of the bodies just burned.
Alrighty. Well, so I assume the ship looks like it was made by not a fine shipwright.
So the longboat?
Yeah.
It looks adequately made. I said it's giant size, but by no means. I mean, it looks like an adequately made, functioning, or it was at least, longboat. It does not seem so. Anything you've seen from hill giants, they're very primitive, very simple. Not so good on the thinky stuff. But you've seen fire giants with finely crafted armor, and these boats do not seem like they are shoddily made at all. Very solidly built.
Okay. Well, that's a good little nugget to tuck away. Well, what are we doing?
Are we trying to get a contract, or are we just leaving? Because
Might be. Well, the biggest contracts are going to be here, but I think that could also come with a bunch of complications. I'm not sure that the people here are very safe people to be in business with.
What time is it?
Well,
It is at this point. It's dusk. So sun is setting.
God, I wish I knew any contacts here. I'm sure there's multiple in this kind of fucking town.
Do you want to try to ask around?
I don't know if that's the best idea. Because the Zintrum, they either back or do not back the 5 captains. So a problem could arise from that. So I'm not gonna worry about it.
Okay. So, you guys try to find a place to stay?
Yeah, the least dingy looking building.
Yeah. So you take a look around. Roll an investigation check from whoever wants it.
Same thing they had.
Yeah, we want a super humble-looking building, not the least dingy, because we don't want a ritzy building, because that's where they tear everybody over, right? We want a really humble, unassuming inn. That's what I'm looking for.
19.
Mm-hmm.
Unnatural 20.
Mm-hmm.
Investigation. That's the check that Hunter never let me use on Zep when I had 1,000,000 intelligence. 17.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Alright. So, in a relatively short amount of time, it doesn't take too terribly long, luckily for you. You kind of look around, you see a few places, and you're like, I don't know about that one. But you do manage to find a surprisingly normal looking inn. It's a little creaky, but seems to be mostly put together and not too terribly dirty. And you don't see any other real strange types hanging around it. Seems to be a quieter part of town, maybe.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, it's a rare find, but you know, a 20 on investigation. So.
Does it have a name on the outside of it, or?
Sure. Yeah, it you see an inn, and on the sign it says the Roaming Squid.
Okay. What the fuck is the squid, first of all? Second, well, I'd like to go in.
All right. So you find your way. Sorry. So you walk inside. Inside, I said it's surprisingly well put together for the most part. Like I said, a little dingy, but compared to the rest, looks pretty good. You see a little halfling who seems to run the place. And
Does he have an eye patch?
what?
Does he have a center eye patch?
He does not.
Shit.
And he's kind of like serving, like he's behind the bar, and so you walk in and you kind of see like up on the walls there's lots of different paintings, like little like a lot look a little yellowed, you know, but there's some paintings on there of different islands and ships and things like that. And I'm gonna say Moyer.
Yep.
Interestingly enough, you kind of look around, and there's one painting that catches your attention. And it's like it's this kind of this scenery, but there's like this right on the like it's very like finely detailed. Like it's strange seeing something this like finely detailed and well painted in a place like this. It's a little weird, but like I said, there's a scenery, and then there's a little form just like right there on the horizon where kind of like the water starts to meet the sky, and you kind of get in, you look real close, and it's got this it's a ship. It's got a strange little shape to it. It's kind of like a little bit more squat, a little bit longer. It's got almost like a squid-like shape to it. Do what?
No, sorry.
Okay, no, that's fine. You say what you need to say. But so you all go up to this halfling, start inquiring about rooms and the like, and he's just like, oh, right. Hey, let me go get the owner real quick. I'll be right back. He handles that sort of business. Likes to get to know the people that come in. And so he goes to the back, and then you kind of hear, oh, I have guests, Zoe. And out comes this man who's he's a human, got graying hair, seems to be up there in the years, and right. So he's tall, lean, white hair, and he's got this big old mustache that covers most of his mouth. Like when he talks, you kind of see the mustache wiggle a little bit, but you don't see a whole lot, like a little bit of the lower lip, but for the most part, it's covered. And he comes out and he's like, oh, why, hello there. Nice for you to stop by. Right. My name is Edgar Barthen. Nice to meet you. He seems oddly familiar. Like something about him. You're like, something about him just seems familiar. I guess history check just for memory, I guess, for anybody who wants it.
I rolled a 1.
That's a nat 20.
Okay.
I have no idea who he is. I'm just like, yeah, some guy.
All right, Yerl. You look at him. You look at him real close. He seems familiar. And then you're like, wait a second. You met an Elmar Barthen back in Fandolin, who ran a little store called Barthen's Provisions. And you're like, there's no way. But he looks like him a little bit. You know, there's a similarity there. And he talks the same way. Shares the same name. That'd be a hell of a coincidence, wouldn't it?
Do you have a brother in Fandolin? Strange question, but I swear, very similar.
You met one of my brothers, did you? I've got a few siblings. We got a few places stationed all around. You said, Fandolin. Oh, that'd be Elmer. Did you meet Elmer?
Yes.
Oh, what a strange little world this is. Here, come on in, sit down for a second. Here, tell you what. You tell me what's going on with Elmer. How's he faring? All that. I just don't worry about the rooms. The rooms beyond the house. Just our little secret.
Well, he was doing pretty well.
Right, sit down. What can I get you to drink? Best stories are told over drink.
I don't need a drink. Thank you very much.
Nothing.
Strong.
Oh, I can get you something strong. You'll be right back. And he could.
I don't care.
Yeah.
They're like cockroaches.
Perhaps the last place you would expect to find somebody like this. He comes back out with drinks. He kind of has a little bit like an assorted, thing, like some alcoholics, and then some other things like some teas and little bits of water or whatever people want. And he's just like, I mean, we do have water. I do find the water here tastes a little funny, so I usually like to make tea or something to help cover up the taste. It's a little strange. As far as I know, it shouldn't get you sick, so you should be all right.
Why do you have to specify?
Well, I'm nothing if I'm not forthcoming. Oh,
Fair enough.
the booze, you're safe. You don't have a worry there. So he hands out drinks to all of you. He's like, so yeah, tell me how Elmar's been doing. I know he set up in that little tiny mining town, wasn't it, way south of here? Now you guys have come a long way.
Yeah, he's doing a lot better since we reopened the mine.
Oh, did you? I heard the mine. The mine of Fandelver, the one that was closed for like, I don't know how many hundred years or something.
The
like
lost
that?
one.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah.
Wow, that place has been closed. It's been lost. Nobody knew where it was.
Yep. Yeah.
Wow, I
Write a
imagine.
whole story about it. How it was lost.
I imagine that business would be looking up for him. Then, probably bring some new interested parties into the area, and I'm gonna need those provisions. And but yeah, so just funny. You find this funny old man who happens to know, and you tell him about what was happening. You guys tell him most of the story, or?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. So you tell him about like the bandits.
Yeah, the red brand. And...
Yeah, the red brand and all of that. And he's just like, you took care of a bandit problem in my brother's town. Do a little.
Yeah, we stabbed him a whole lot.
Do a little insight check. See what he thinks of that. If he believes it. Yeah, I'd say he buys it. And he's just like, I mean, you guys being truthful. So he's just like, well, now I'm sure you are a big hit down there, but I'm afraid nobody around here would really know or much care. It's a little bit of a shady town, I mean, it gets a bad name, but sometimes it's not. You get used to it, You just there's certain places you don't go, and as long as you
Like
do that,
outside,
you're fine.
or-
Well, no, just like more like they get protective over I think it's called Blood Island or something over there. So you just leave them alone. They leave you alone. I mean, most like criminals who really make a big fuss either get brought in by the soldiers or some sort of angry mob. So there's some sort of peace here. It's not so bad.
So, you said you talked to most of the people that come in here, right?
Yeah, I try to get to know. I mean, I try to believe in the good in everybody, but there's some unsavory sorts. So it helps to know who comes through.
They didn't happen to mention anything about someone wanting some frost giants taken care of or anything.
Oh, you mean like the frost giants out there in the bay? No, I can't say it. I've thought of some. I mean, there's all sorts of kinds of folk heading up north. Whether the frost giants are a bit more prevalent, perhaps there's something out that way. But around here, I mean, we don't usually have to deal with frost giants too much. But just recently here today, luckily
Felt
the
like they were dealt with
Arcane
pretty well.
Brotherhood. Oh yeah, the Arcane Brotherhood. They know their stuff.
How big is the Brotherhood?
The Arcane Brotherhood. I think there's about 7 of them.
That's a lot of mages. I'm scared of one mage.
Oh yeah, they're pretty powerful sort. See, let me see here. How much does he know about the town? Okay. So it's like, so as far as I know, they're pretty recent here in the last like 20 years or so. That weird tower used to be in rubble, and then one day it mysteriously started regenerating, so the stories say, and then the Arcane Brotherhood showed up.
Seems like a mighty coincidence.
Oh, I imagine they had something to do with it, since it's where they took up residence and all. But I mean, we had a nearby ruins that had some undead problems, and they dealt with that, and they even fought off a dragon that was terrorizing the city.
So they normally keep the peace, or at least the town from being exploded.
Well, I mean, at the very least, they seem to be pretty fond of their tower, and their tower's right here in the town, so we kind of get the benefit from that little field of protection. They said they stay out of politics, and as far as I know, for the most part, they do. Then again, I don't know all the shady, underhanded goings-on, so it's beyond me.
Well, I would guess it's getting pretty late.
Yeah, I say as you guys talk and exchange stories, and he tells you a little bit about the town. Yeah, he it's getting up there in the hours.
Well, you said something about rooms.
Oh yeah, of course, please. And don't worry about the drinks or the food. I'll take care of it. It's all you've done for my family. It's the least I could do. Here, let me show you to the and he kind of shows you to your rooms, and they're passable. And again, compared to the rest of the city, they look great. They look great. They're compared to someplace like, I don't know, someplace like Silvery Moon or Everland. It's not quite up to snuff, but about the best you're gonna find probably here in the town.
Way
Outside
better
of
than that crazy lady's.
Oh yeah, way better than hers. The 6 windows. I forget what her name was. So yeah, he shows you your rooms. You don't, no charge. Take care of it for you. Get you all fed.
Yeah, I'm gonna sleep. I guess with a dagger under my pillow.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
So,
Yeah, what's up?
yeah, before he leaves after show, going to say, I need to ask you something,
He's like, oh yeah, sure.
preferably in private.
Let's say, I mean, you could. He's going to be up for a minute, so I mean, if everybody's heading up to their rooms, then you might have like kind of the bar area. Well, there's Ethan. So I'd say probably everybody's gone but Ethan.
Yes, that's fine then. Yeah. So I was looking at your paintings on the wall here, and I saw one that caught my eye.
Oh, I did it.
Yeah, I'm gonna point to the one that you're talking about.
The finely painted one. He's like, oh yeah, that one. He kind of walks over, kind of like, and kind of looks at it, kind of like pulls it up off the wall and brings it over to the bar and kind of sets it down so you can kind of get a good look at it and everything. There's like, yeah, you know, it's a funny story. So, I mean, this is a fine painting, isn't it? So it was, as far as I know. And then he seemed truthful, so I think it's a strange place to find a fine painter as this is. There's some fella over down on I don't know if he really has a home. Really, he seems to hang out on the beach a lot. But yeah, apparently he painted this. I don't know what he made these paintings out of. But I mean, what he's done with it is astounding. Yeah, and he just offered it to the place. In exchange for a room, so I told him stay as long as you like, and he was here for about a week. And then I think he went just back to the beach. He's a bit of a strange fellow, but yeah, he painted this and just handed it over. It's incredible.
Did you catch a name or anything, or?
Yeah, I mean. Or at least what he goes by, he seems to just go by Beryl. That seems like a strange little name to me, but yeah, it's what he goes by.
Interesting. I'm gonna point at the ship. Do you happen to recognize this at all?
It's just like, that. I mean, I don't know. It's a weird looking ship. I haven't seen much of its kind. I'm not much of a seafaring type, so I mean I don't know. You could. I mean, I'm sure he saw it somewhere. I mean, you could ask him.
Yeah.
You could find him. He tends to hang out more on the northern beach, kind of. I mean, it's kind of near the docks. Let's see. The name of that beach is. If I could find it. I think it's like Dragon Beach or something like that. So that's but he points you to the beach kind of on the northern side of town, where you can find him.
Okay. Yeah, that should be it then.
All right. Well,
Thanks for the help.
yeah, of course.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go to my room.
Okay. You all find your beds and sleep for the night, unless you're Ethan. Which
There is no sleep.
which Edgar checks on you a couple times and like, you is there anything else you need? Was the room not to your liking?
Wait. I have my own room.
Well, why of course. Why wouldn't I give you one?
It's unexpected.
I mean,
At some point, you're gonna expect that people expect you to want a room.
I mean, it would seem mighty rude if I offered rooms all to the rest of your group, not to you, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I don't really like to sleep.
I haven't much met anyone who
Except for Terry. He
didn't
likes
like-
to take naps.
This guy's gonna think you're crazy.
He's looking
You're
around.
gonna get committed.
I think your skeletons are still in the bag, so he's like, yeah. So he's just kind of looking around, he's like, oh, right, a
Wait,
friend of yours.
I have
take
the bag, right?
Yes.
You do.
I am constantly talking into the bag.
Please, please, when we get in a fight, like, make a Pokemon joke.
Fully, like, I was already.
Oh my god.
And he looks at you real close. And like, it's like, what did you say your name was?
My name's Malachi. This is my friend.
You're upstairs. This is after everybody went to bed, and he's just hanging out in the lobby. And Barthen's just kind of like, what's this?
Ethan?
Oh, Ethan. Where are you from?
The Cloud District.
Mandolin.
I don't know. Really?
You don't know.
No.
Like you forgot or something?
Yeah.
Huh. Well, ain't that the funniest thing?
Yeah. It is pretty funny, right?
Well, I mean, I don't mean it like that. It's just it's unusual, you know?
Yeah.
But so yeah, he trying to find real quick. Okay, there it is. Finding my notes on. Okay, so it's just called the Open Shore. Dragon Beach is the south beach. So the Open Shore is the northern side. There we go. I found it. He's like, right, oh boy, I don't even know how to unpack all of that. Well, you and Beryl might get along just fine. He seems to forget a lot of things, if I'm honest. But all right, well, let me know if you need anything.
This
Be heading off to sleep soon, I think.
Beryl?
Yeah, he's a strange fellow that hangs out over on the Open Shore.
Is he nice?
I mean, he just offered this beautiful painting up, you know, just for a night of sleep, but you know, or a few.
Wow. He did this?
Yeah, he painted this himself out of whatever he could find, I guess.
I wonder if he can teach me to do this.
What is it a painting of?
Who knows? Maybe he can. It's a painting of like basic. You kind of see it looks like the ocean, like an ocean scenery, and then a kind of a horizon as the sun's starting to set in the background. There's lots of purples and then there's like a little form of a strange looking ship that's on the edge of the water. And then there's kind of like a sandy beach in like the foreground. So yeah, Edgar goes off to sleep. Has one of his attendants keeping the place overnight, making sure everything's in order. So, unless there's anything else anybody would like to do, move on to the next day. So you all get some sleep. Moyer, yours might be a little uneasy. This is kind of the closest you've slept to the ocean in a while. You kind of have some dreams, not the weird visions and voices in your head kind of dreams, but maybe some flashbacks. Kind of dream about being surrounded by water and things like that, and it's a little fitful for you. So also your microphone's got the red light on, so I think you're muted.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was just letting you know in case you wanted to say something we didn't catch it. Yeah, but you do get some sleep, and you all awake the next morning.
Just a heads up, I'm gonna have to leave in like 20-ish minutes.
We should be done by then.
Okay.
I think we'll be closing up here pretty soon. No problem.
Coolio.
To go.
What?
Okay. So, y'all wake up in the morning. What would you like to do? Edgar's up early. He's got all sorts of food set out for you. And it seems like he's trying to put on the best that he can with what he's got. And again, he just he doesn't accept any money for it or anything like that.
I mean, I eat free food.
Yeah, and it's decent food. So, the day is yours.
Before we leave town, I have some stuff to do.
Stuff to do, like bedroom magic? Because we've been over this.
No. I need to
We have
go-
well-established lore about that.
Bedroom Magic 2, the electric boogaloo.
Oh, it'll be electric, alright.
Oh.
Nice!
Shit.
Got him.
I have to go speak to someone at the northern beach.
I didn't know there's a brothel out there.
I knew someone out there too.
New.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ethan?
Yeah. He's
Who?
gonna teach me how to paint.
Did Tabitha tell you this?
No.
Is his name Beryl?
You know him too.
Well, that's who I'm going to talk to.
So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna shut my brain down. But once we're out of this, if my gold pouch is not heavier, I will be displeased.
Sure.
Realistic person.
Slips a rock in his gold pouch.
I mean, following directions. You didn't say heavier with what? Could be a big old juicy turd in there to meet the set guidelines.
I will find many rocks to put in there.
Yeah, maybe even shiny
Need to be
ones.
shiny ones.
So,
Dude,
Yeah.
I still
so
have
you
a
find
rock
your
that
way.
kinda
You find
looks
your
like
way
a
down to
skull.
the beach.
Yeah.
Nothing else going on.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm down to follow him.
Yeah, you walk along the beach for you see the docks, and many ships that are kind of coming and going. Lots of large ships. Some of them very visibly armed, colorful sails, things like that. Some of them seem suited for, straight-laced, above-board merchant ship business. Others you look at and you're like, that's a lot of weaponry on that ship. But some of them almost looking like warships. I mean,
By weaponry, you mean like cannons and
Yeah.
stuff, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
oh yeah, and large. Oh, I guess large
Giant
like
squids.
like ballista. No, not giant squids.
Mm.
Large like ballista like looking armaments and
Like a Scorpio, like a little smaller, or...
like it's a decently sized like ballista thing with like a bolts that have like ropes tied, so they can try to all sorts of things that are totally for a legit business.
Totally for hunting whales. Or
Legit business, all right.
hunting giant squid.
Yeah. So, yeah, you kind of
That's
start,
cool.
and as you get down to the beach, you can hear the waves kind of crashing against it, like calmly kind of flowing up to the shoreline. The wind starting to pick up a little bit here. It is a little bit warmer than Mirabar. Not a whole lot. And honestly, the wind from this from the sea probably takes most of that away. So it feels a lot like Mirabar, even though it's technically warmer. And you walk your way out and you take a look around. You start to see there's a figure that's just kind of sitting on the beach. He's got this little like rock underneath him, and yeah, you just see a little figure. He's sitting out there, off in the distance. Okay. So as you get closer, you start to see. Looks to be half elf, if you had to guess. Clothes, got all sorts of holes in them. Seems to have some new shoes on. They look pretty new and put together, and kind of out of place with the rest of what he's got going on. And he's got like this little flat, this like wide flat sheet of fire alarms. It's not me this time. So, and he's got like this flat sheet of like shale, something like that, and he's got like strange little things like smeared on it. It looks like he's found some like reeds and stuff and made like little makeshift paint brushes out of, and he starts, and you see he's working on something. So he's looks to be young to middle aged, but with half elves it's a little bit skewed. Got kind of mangy hair. Has a tiny little bit of a wispy beard. Looks like whatever of the non-elven lineage kind of peeking through a little bit there. And he's just kind of disheveled, but he just seems to be happy enough, just doing his thing.
Hey there. Are you your barrel?
His eyes kind of go wide. Just nods.
Okay. I wanted to ask you about a painting you made.
Kind of looks down at the one he's holding. Holds it up.
Not that one. No. Specifically the one you made for Edgar.
Is that kind of squints a little bit? Looks at the sky. And then kind of has like a moment, and then like points at his shoes. And then he's got like these like relatively new, nice shoes. Points and nods at him.
I don't think so. You gave it to him for a room for a week.
And he kind of points. He points to the direction of the building, points at his shoes, and points at himself.
Sure, I guess.
Doing this motion, like.
Yeah. Okay, I guess he gave you shoes. That's cool. Anyways, in that painting, there's oh. Yeah. I wanted to know if you remembered it.
Kind of looks over at the boats at the dock.
Not.
Points at those.
It's a very special boat. It looks like a big old squid.
He kind of like leans back a little bit. Face goes a little, kind of gets a little serious. And for the first time, you hear him speak, and he's just like, "People don't believe me when I talk about the squid boat. They laugh at me."
You saw a squid boat?
Yeah.
What's a squid?
Imagine a fish, but with tentacles, like the toad thing.
He kind of like sketches out a little picture of a squid in the sand.
Holy shit.
He's like, people think I'm
You saw this as a boat?
I think so. I think it had people on it.
Yeah, well, I've seen this boat. Yeah, I'm trying to find it. Yeah.
I mean, the boat kind of gave me a bad feeling looking at it.
Yeah.
I've seen it pass by a couple times. It never stops here in the town. It kind of points out to the ocean. He's like, so it's just out there somewhere. It's probably out there.
Natural?
Out there now. Oh no.
Does it go in a certain direction each time?
Yeah, both ways. It seems to stay out there. I'm sure I'll see it again at some point.
Does it go with the wind, or does it seem propelled?
And he's kind of like he looks around. And he's like, there's like two people talking to him now, and he starts to look like a little like overwhelmed. He's just like, I don't know.
You're really good at painting. How do you do that?
And then there's like a third person. He's just like,
You should meet Bones and Tabitha.
I know.
Terry's a bit of kind of
He kind of starts like, I don't know if I can meet any more people. It's a lot.
Ethan, I think he's.
No, trust me. I'm not
No.
He starts like shying away. He's just like, Were you taking out the bag?
Uh-huh.
Okay, you have the bag.
I mean, if he's shying away, I'm just gonna be like, you know, they're really nice.
Question.
Yeah.
As someone with the haunted one background,
Mm-hmm.
would I be able to tell if somebody else has been through a trauma like that?
Yeah. Roll an insight check.
Question.
Roll with. Yeah, that's fine.
Question.
1 second. Let's get his insight check real quick.
18.
18.
As someone with the haunted one background.
As someone with the haunted one background,
As
I'm
someone
the far traveler, so
with the far wanderer back.
wait, are we really both far traveler bros? Is that what's going on?
I kind of just went with it because it's a wanderer type, I think. But I think
It
are
seems
we
to
far
fit.
wanderer?
It seems to fit for you, just because like
Well, yeah.
it's
not
another
really-
plane.
Far traveler, yeah, I do.
See, far traveler doesn't really work for me up north, but where we started, it
Yeah.
worked for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Crane.
Mm-hmm.
So you see this fellow. He seems like somebody who's just kind of been cast aside by society. Somebody, and maybe, it's kind of a shady town. You think maybe he's been abused. You're not sure.
But not necessarily one.
And you know that like people like don't believe him and things he says, and so he kind of tends just to not talk. There might be some sort of awful something that happened. You don't know how he got here. You don't know anything like that. It's entirely possible. Hard to tell.
Okay.
But he very much seems like an outcast who's used to people not necessarily treating him well. So he tends to be quiet and almost like almost like a kicked puppy. It's just like he's a little bit of a pitiful sight.
I've heard this before.
So,
Okay.
Is there any other distinguishing features you can remember about the boat?
I mean, it's the only one I've seen that looks like a squid.
Okay, but like flag wise or maybe sails.
Doesn't run any colors.
Was there anybody on it?
Doesn't have a sail. There are people on it.
People?
Yeah, there's people.
No one else believes you about this.
No.
So does that mean nobody else sees it? I mean, I assume you spend most of your time down here, so.
Most of it. So. It seems like that might be all the information you're gonna get out of him. He seems a little overwhelmed at this point.
Okay. Well,
Before
for the time.
before we leave,
Mhm.
I'm gonna whisper to Moyer, to basically just say offer him this, and it's a bag with 15 gold pieces.
I was about to offer too, but yeah, hey. I'll add
About
like
to make this man rich.
5 of that and give it to him. Thanks for the time.
He kind of he's got like
That's
his
a lot of money. 50
Yes.
gold is a lot of money.
I'm a very charitable soul.
So
okay.
he kind of just like eyes it, and you kind of just have to set it down next to him. He kind of like looks at it and just nods.
Those are shiny rocks. You can get things with it. It's pretty cool.
Just nods.
So how'd you learn to paint?
You just kind of hear just like a little noise, like.
That's cool. I wish I could paint. You should come with us. Yeah.
I think he would probably like it more here.
Put him in a bag.
Put him in the bag.
Oh my god.
You wanted bodies? No one's gonna notice he's gone.
Shit, you're right. New plan.
So you guys set down the little bag of gold next to him.
Yeah.
You leave?
Yeah.
Okay.
Suppose.
As you all start to walk away, you kind of look back. At one point, you see him kind of start poking at the bag a little bit and start peeking inside of it. And off you go.
Super hype. Just like, bye, bells.
He just, like,
It's like, oh, shiny rocks. I wonder what these are for.
and as you say bye, he just kind of like a little hand just wiggles a little
I'll be
bit.
back.
He thinks we're fucking weirdos. He really does.
Are we not?
So
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty weird.
so there you go.
Sorry, I just got your stream demonetized.
Yeah. Yeah, demonetizes if I make any money off this. So,
Meet again.
you guys have rest of the day. Still a large, like most of it left. If you want to head further up towards Icewind Dale, you'd have to go north. Probably towards, yeah, like up towards like there's Hundlestone, and then there's another town north of that called Bryn Shander. You're gonna be traveling along the Northern Means Road. That kind of crosses with another road called Ten Trail, which is named for the 10 towns in the area.
Well, once we get to the 10 trail, that's when we can start to see assholes around.
Potentially.
Right.
You might start seeing other Reged in the lake. 10 Trail starts south of Icewind Dale and then moves its way up into it. And it basically leads directly into like through Hundlestone and up into Bryn Shander. So, you guys like to take off that way?
No. Is there a shady alleyway around?
There's many.
There's men.
That is like
Oh.
this
Everything.
town's main export is shady alleyways.
I'm mostly looking for like
The shadiest.
a guy like on a corner like flipping a knife or like a coin or something. Like,
Yeah, you can find a few types like that.
yeah. I would like to find one.
Okay. Yeah. What exactly are you looking for? Just like, are you looking for information about potential
I want to find
contacts?
his yeah.
Okay. Roll an investigation check for me.
13.
Okay. So you find it kind of this a little bit of a tougher looking type. Got a jagged scar kind of across his jawline. Kind
I
of
want
looks
to
at
make a note. I told the group to stay back when I went to talk to him, so he wasn't confronted by a bunch of
Yeah, and he kind of looks at you, and you notice he's got these tattoos. Some of them seem to match some of the other things you've seen in the area. And he's like, "What do you want?"
I'm looking for somebody that can deal in information.
I mean, there's a fair amount of that here. Most of the goings on, above board or not, have to go through the 5 captains. They kind of run things around here.
I'm into a little more clandestine and maybe bigger.
He's just like, kind of eyes you up a little bit. He's like, I mean, this is 5 captain territory. Other than, I don't know, the Brotherhood. I don't know what else you're looking for.
Well, I may go talk to them then.
Good luck! Yeah, go waltz on up to Blood Island, see if they'll let you in.
Will do. I'm gonna turn on my heel and walk away.
Like, good luck.
I don't think this interim are liked here.
Wait, what'd you say?
I don't think this interim are liked here.
So.
Alright, yeah, I'm ready.
Alright. So, let's speed things up. The crew starts head north along the northern meads. It starts to get colder. Snow's still falling. There was a little bit of a break there for a bit, and then they're right back to it. You kind of see the spine of the world that's looming up to your northeast. That's kind of looming. It's kind of growing larger. You're not going straight at it, but you're getting a little bit closer. And as you're walking down the road, probably partway through the first day or so, you find. Let me find it real quick. Oh, so many pages in this book. What page was this on? It was on page 71. Okay. So, you see a figure who's kind of seems to be like leaning up against this pine tree near the road. And as you get closer, you see it's a man wearing very fine armor. Religion check from anybody who wants it. He's got some sort of symbol on his.
Surely a man of my actually.
If it was cord, you wouldn't have to roll for it.
12.
16.
15, 12, 16. Okay. Religion. 10. What was that?
Well, the whole point of my character is I don't know that much about religion.
Okay. So I would say that Malachi, Moyer, and Ethan, through one form of information or another, you know that symbol stands for Tyr, who's a kind of a god of justice sort of type.
And cooking.
Is he a lizard folk?
No, he's not a god dang lizard folk. Other campaign. It's other campaign and another character who might be a lizard folk monk of Tyr, ostensibly, and then, you know.
Hey, they could be reoccurring characters. In fact, there probably are reoccurring characters.
Well, I'm just saying, no, he was a player character.
Oh.
And he's an interesting type. We'll just say. So,
He sucks.
you see him. He's kind of leaning up against this tree. He's got a horse kind of beside him. You see a large gash in the front of his armor. And he's kind of he's looking down, and in his hand he's got this broken lute that he's staring down at.
Okay.
I'll call out to him.
As he hears something, he kind of jumps for a second, kind of like reaches for a sword at his side, and sees it's just normal people, and kind of pulls his hand away and seems to relax a little bit, but still it just seems tense. And he kind of like he looks down. There's the gash, and you can see bits of blood that are pouring from it. He's like, you could say. And he seems jittery. He seems real, just like jittery.
Like I can fix that.
Kind of looks
I'm
up at you.
gonna
And he's
pull
like,
one of my blades and like look around intensely.
So Malachi goes up to him and kind of sees you. He's like, a man of cord. It's good to see you. As he sees a symbol of cord on your person. He's like,
I'm glad we found you. What happened? And I cast Cure Wounds.
Go ahead and roll healing on that.
8.
Okay. Yeah, the wound starts to seal up. Lots of the blood is still bits of the blood are still specked on the armor. It didn't seem like it was too terribly deep. It seemed like maybe a little bit of a glancing blow, but still, like I said, it was a big gash. Like a large chunk of the armor has just been like cut. He's like, the name's Sir Jordith Tavelson.
Great, a knight.
Yes. Right. He looks down at the loot, and you see him kind of like bite back like tears.
I touch the loot and cast Mending.
It starts to reform. And he kind of like shakes his head for a moment. He's like, "Well, I suppose it'd make a good memento." I had a squire. We were attacked by two frost giants. Managed to kill one. The other got away. My squire not so lucky.
My gaze kind of hardens and I walk towards him. Like, where is he? Close?
The frost giant. You'll help me find him.
If it's giant you're looking to kill, you found the right man.
That's the best news I've heard in a long time. Well, I feel a bit better. Right. And he kind of gets up and he kind of starts to lead his horse. He's like, if you all don't mind, yeah, I would love to track down this giant with you and bring some sort of justice for my lost squire.
I think we could do that.
Well, I don't have much, but
The glory of killing a giant is all I need.
right, right this way. And he starts to lead you off the road, and further, kind of to the more north, kind of up into the hills, in the direction of where this fight supposedly took place. And that, I think, is where we'll leave off.
Alright.
Hey, Ethan,
Let's just, anything you guys want to talk about.
giant bones.
That's all you had to say.
That's all I gotta say.
For me, it's giant. For Ethan, it's giant bone.
And for me, it's like, he'll tell us everything he knows about the tribe after we're done helping him, so.
So, I guess that's where we'll call it. You got a knight, got wrecked. Apparently he's got a grudge with the frost giant.
Same.
Has anyone seen the anime on? It's a Netflix one. It's like the Grand Crest War.
Nope.
Something like that. No.
Can't say I have.
Why does Grand Crest sound so familiar?
Because it's super cliche.
Kind of is. Could sound like a million things.
Okay. Record of the Grand Crest War?
Yeah, that one. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the anime is fantastic.
Yeah,
I
I
watched it
really
before
enjoyed
it
it.
was on.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the vibe, like him going back to his island, right? That's the vibe I'm getting right now. All right, that's Malachi's mission. It's gonna like just tell him I'm here. It's like fucking tell everyone he can to tell this asshole that I'm here, basically.
So,
I need to take my leave for now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for
Yeah.
playing, everybody. I appreciate it. Next time we will definitely have some combat.
I would imagine.
It seems, I mean,
Giantes.
you know, it seems to be like the last few sessions have been kind of like combat in between story stuff. The next session combat, and the next session story stuff, and then
Yeah.
so. Alrighty then.
Alright.
You guys have a good one, and I'll catch you next time.
See ya.
Alright. My voice is tired. Restrained, hungry. I am sorry that I have not talked much. It's hard to do. Half a ton of crap. What is it? A toilet? You're talking about the bag of holding when I said they could carry 500 pounds and I said half a ton of crap? Yeah, no. Bad hungry. In the meantime, as usual, I hope you all enjoyed. I will be back on Wednesday playing video games and stuff. I'm trying to think of the next game I want to play on stream. I've been doing a lot of TFT and stuff. So I was doing Subnautica, but I beat Subnautica. So now I'm like, I'll find some other. I like having single player games here and there. But in the meantime, have a good one. See you on Wednesday. Unless I don't, then it's whenever. Goodbye.